Alright. I think that should be about it. That should be about it. Alright, check on sound. Alright, good. Seems like it worked. Baller. Welcome to the stream. We have a set of patches today. Ah, shit. I closed my door. I'll be right back. There we go. Wow. Make sure my hair looks good. Can't have bad looking hair. That won't do. Here we go. Alright. Excellent. Seems like things are working out pretty well. Check everything. I think we should be solid. Ain't no worries here. Cool. Excellent. Alright, let's get to patch sewing. Patch sewing is the hard part. That's what we're doing tonight. We've got 4 patches right here. We've got these 2 patches. I kind of like the... I'm going to call this one the Goth Moth. Fuck it, you know? Why not? Then we've got the Death Cat. Death Cat is definitely going on my arm. I really like that one. That's going to be a vertical patch. This bad boy, the Awesome Mix Volume 2. I think I'm putting this around like lapel area. I think it'll look pretty sick around there. And the pièce de résistance. Fuck yeah, I love this bad boy. I'm gonna put this near my pocket, right where my left hand is, so I can just be like, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna love it. No regrets. Stay hydrated. Get high and stay hydrated. Alright. Seems like everything is working and everything notified just properly. Alright, where's the jacket? So, when we look at this jacket, the question is, where on this jacket do I want to put all my motherfucking patches? Because I've already got one on the neck. This little snake patch that I put on stream last time. And then the Jimmy patch, which is on my other arm. So the real question is, I'm thinking that we put the Death Cat, right? This bad boy. I say we put it over his ear on the other arm, because it looks pretty fucking good there, right? I feel like that's the move. That's really the move here. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get that fucking needle out. Get a couple of safety pins going. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit so you guys can actually see me work. Hey, I should bring my table closer to me. Questions that haunt my dreams. Here's the master pen. There we go. Alright, gotta get the master pen undone. Get a couple of safety pins. I'm thinking 3 for this one because this is a pretty big patch, no lies. And so if we just toss that motherfucker over there, get these pins in, we can get this patch stabilized and start moving forward. Now, I want it to be really straight before I start getting this bitch on. Because with the Jimmy patch, I had a really hard time getting it straight. Because honestly, straightening a circle is a pain in the ass. So, right there is about the same point, 2 inches down from the seam. About, yeah, should be good. Pin in there, motherfucker. Ah, fuck. Of course. First go, first stab. Of course I'm gonna stab myself the first time. I always do that. dumb motherfucker. Put my hand up in here. Got it from underneath. You see, I wasn't taught sewing by like my grandmother or anybody. I just taught myself how to sew my own fucking patches on because I'm like that. So I honestly suck ass, and I'm not particularly good at it, but I do it anyways. This needs to get out of the way. There we go. Put it right through the other side of the cat's face. Try to relax the pen a little bit. Ba 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 ba. It's a pretty sick ass pen though, right? I like it. Let's get that other side pen. But now the pen's good. Okay. I feel like maybe I should watch some anime or something while I do this. Just have something going on the screen rather than just my Spotify, right? I don't know, future funk isn't so training enough, right? Best subgenre of vaporwave. I feel like that's not standard enough. So I think we're gonna go at it again. Fuck. Why? Why does this happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? But good things happen to bad people. Like me. There we go. Some honey biscuits. There we go. Where did I put my phone? It's somewhere. I think it's underneath my sewing kit. Probably best not to check it though. I'll get into my baby. Huh. That's a hard question. Whenever your girlfriend asks you what kind of nipple piercing she wants to put in, what do you say? The good ones? You know what? I kind of like the ones that look like snakes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with the hearts though. I think the hearts are kind of cute. No lies, you know? I like the hearts. Alright, let's get down to fucking sewing. Where is my needle? My weapon sire. Gotta get the big fat fucker. There we go. This one has a white outside, so should I go with white thread? I'm thinking white thread. White thread will probably blend in the best. So I think I'm gonna break out my white for once. Fuck me. I have a lot of thread mixed up in this needle already. I am such a bad fucking Is it seamster if you're a guy? I guess, well, yeah, I guess it would be seamster, wouldn't it, rather than seamstress, because I have a penis, and so not a seamstress, I'm a seamster, and I'm not a good one. Where are my scissors? I knew they were around here somewhere. I don't want to bend my fucking needle or anything. That'd be terrible. What a sin. Where? Oh, there we go. It broke anyways. Doesn't matter. Now, here's about to come the most entertaining part, where I unironically have to find both the beginning of the thread, and I have to thread it through my needle, which is the worst part, because I'm not a particularly dexterous man, and so these things are difficult. But yet I do them anyways. I do them on camera for you. Fuck. God damn it. Why must I use white thread? That's really the question. Whatever, we're going to black thread. It's always black thread. Never leaves me black thread. I mean, it's a black fucking jacket. Come on, give me a break. You know? Black thread's gonna look pretty punk against the silver outline anyways, so it might look better. You never know. Don't judge me or my laziness, because I sew my patches on my way. Nobody else's way. Like Frank Sinatra once said, I did it my way. Motherfucking Christ. Ah! You see, cursing the name of the Lord is the same thing as praying. That's what the Catholics don't want you to know. That's what Satan. Praise Satan, you curse the Lord. God will help you whether or not you praise him. He'll be like, fuck you, Jesus. He'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. It's cool. Jesus is a cool guy. I always imagined that if Jesus were real, he'd be like Bob Ross. Or I think that's the other way around. I think Bob Ross was Christ. I'm not kidding. I think Bob Ross was Christ. He had all the qualities of Christ. He was kind. He served in the military too. Did you guys know that shit? That's... Oh wait, I also forgot that this has this song mixed in. It's an interesting mix. Good song, interesting mix. Ew. I almost got it mixed up with my safety pins. That would be bad. Alright, there's my thimble. I need my thimble because I have big fingers. Keep your thimble on your thumb so that you can guide your needle better through the cloth. Press it on through, rather than hurting yourself with a fool. These are things your grandma won't teach you. Or she will teach you, but she'll teach you in far nicer language than I will. However, my grandma was not so kind. Still isn't. Still a bit of an old bitch. I hope you're not watching this, Granny. Well, no, Granny's nice. Is mostly Nana. I hope you're not watching this, Nana. Fucking old skank told me I was always ruining this city one time when I lived in Austin. Like, bitch, that's the Californians. Do I look like a Californian to you? No. We do not play these games. I'm not a Californian. Californians are of the devil. No one ever tell you that? Fuck me. I have so much thread. I should have grabbed so much thread. This is what I get. Alright, we are in action. We are now guiding needle through patch. We're getting the thread going. The thread of fate. This patch is actually pretty soft, so it's not that hard to fucking thread through, which is good. Might not even need the thimble, TBH. Let's hope for the best. See how quickly we can get this one done before we move on to the next one, because we've got 3 more fucking patches to do, and I'm not staying up all night. I'm honestly just procrastinating my projects because I don't want to code right now, because coding is boring. I don't want to do it. And so I'm experimenting with Restream. Seeing how that's gonna work out for me. Because, you know, you gotta diversify your portfolio. You gotta see what kind of audiences will watch, you know? You never know. You never know who wants to watch me sew on a patch while I ramble to future funk. It's a hell of an aesthetic, but it's the one that I live. Seems like we're getting pretty good progress, TBH. Wish I could show you a little bit better. One second. We got the entire top corner done right there. So, we are moving right along. Do not worry about criminal me. I am actually kind of worried about this top bit with the gate on it, because if I go in too deep, you will see too much thread, and that will look like heat. And that will ruin the point of having such a sick-ass patch on one's jacket. Keeps on getting caught on the edges of the chair. Should probably stop throwing my fucking thread over in that corner then, huh? Why? Why am I such a fool? All the way up in there. There we go. My darling, she texts me. She asked me how my homework is. I finished my homework, luckily. But I should still keep on working on my projects. I'm going to keep on working on it tomorrow morning, because I'm a procrastinating son of a bitch. I don't want to do it right now. I'm fucking lazy. I just want to sew my patches so that my jacket looks sick tomorrow, so that I can go to school and everyone will be like, "Oh, look at that baller with the patches on his jacket." I don't know. It's not a common skill to sew your own patches. Most people who do sew their own patches like this do it with dental floss, because dental floss is way tougher than thread. But I don't really need like toughness from my patches, because, like, you know, I'm not a crust punk. I have never attested to be a crust punk. I take showers. Thank you. I will accept folk punk though, because I don't know, I like angsty white dudes playing 4-chord guitars. I don't mind at all. It's great. Punk is punk, dude. You just gotta accept it as it comes. Whatever makes you feel, honestly. A lot of people are like, "Oh, is this punk? Is that punk?" Don't play games. Everything is punk if you try hard. I wish I could get a camera directly on the patch so you guys could like see my hands as I'm going, but my webcam sits above my computer. It's just not how that works out. It's not how my stream goes. One day. Whenever I get my GoPro, maybe. I'm getting that GoPro on fucking Friday. I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe we can start streaming in 4K. That would be crazy. Absolutely murder my upload rate. And I'm not willing to pay for better internet. I'm a cheap ass. Fuck it. You know? if any of the V Respawn people will just come and chill with me. I want somebody to talk to, and Lord. Huh. Wow, GTFO just got a VR mod. That's fucking crazy. Fuck me, man. Huh. What a life. I'm impressed. No one's going to come chill with me, but I'm still going to sit in general chat like a scrub, because, you know, that's me. That's my life. Ah, there we go. Excellent. Baller, baller, baller. I put on my patches. Sad that Get Hip lives in fucking England, because like if he didn't live in England, then he could stream with me at night. But I never stream in the day, never stream in the morning. I'm too fucking tired. I'm such a lazy ass. I barely even wake up. Like, fuck streaming in the morning. I do not have the energy for that crap. I am definitely a night person. There's no part of me that wakes up in the early morning for fucking anything. I don't fuck with that at all. That ain't me. That's just not what I do. I am a night owl. It's not like I do anything though. I'm an absolute fucking homebody, but I still have more energy at night. Ah, this mix is bad. We're moving to the next mix. Not every Young Bay mix is a hit, you know? Young Bay is fucking great. No lies. Best future funk artist out there. By far the most prolific, at least. But not all of his mixes are actually that good. He just has a lot of them. Alright, so by the way, you know, keeping up with the patch progress, we are all the way across the top sides. Now we just gotta go down the left side. We will continue working from there. No worries, no sweats. We are just chilling and billing. I do like Sunshine though. Sunshine is a great mix. Let's see if I can. You know, honestly, I feel like I could use Future Funk in like Tribes XR, and that would be fucking sick. I really need to get into Tribes XR because I fucking bought that game on a lark, and then I never played it. Never ever. I couldn't figure out how to get my fucking music library into it, honestly, because I'm a fucking dummy. Did not spend nearly enough time on it, honestly. I think if I had looked a little bit further into it, I probably could have done it easily, but whatever. That's just how it be sometimes. I was wondering how VR streaming on Facebook and like Restream would go, because Twitch sort of has a community for VR, but nobody really has a community for VR. VR is kind of like the redhead stepchild of literally everything. It's not really art, it's not really new technologies, it's not really gaming in most cases, because most games just want to click and board. Apex or whatever. So, where does that leave VR? What do we get? I don't know. It's hard to think about sometimes. I love the industry so much. I really wish that we could figure out where we were in it. What our place really looks like, you know? Sometimes I worry for the state of the industry. Sometimes I worry for all of us. I worry for everything. But, you know, fuck. The VR industry is what really worries me sometimes because we just need to... Oh, yep. I knew I would do it. Motherfucker. I think I sewed like that entire section, didn't I? I went too deep. So now my jacket is sewed shut right there. Son of a bitch! Alright, well. What do I do? What do I do? Yeah, it's sewed together in two different places. Oh my god. Son of a bitch. No, it's only sewed together in one place. Okay. Son of a bitch. Fucking damn it. Oh, alright. Seems like we're going to de-thread our last 4 stitches. Or so. Because I fucked up. And I sewed my jacket shut like a dummy. About 3 or 4 stitches down. This is what happens when you just ramble while you sew instead of paying attention like you're supposed to. Oh man, not my thread, bitch. Messy. Oh no. Oh no, Rick. I fucked up. No, that's more shaggy than anything. Fuck. My accents are all off today. I can't do impressions. I've never been particularly good at impressions. That's the only voice I have. There's no other. There we go. Fucking Christ. I can't believe, like, I actually sewed my shit shut again. I do that a lot sometimes. Whenever I'm sewing on my patches, I'll stop paying attention for like 5 seconds and then I'll put my hands up in there. I'm like, wait, I couldn't possibly put my arm in this. It's sewn together because I'm an idiot. I don't want to go that far back because it goes all the way back up to the corner, but I fucked up pretty hard. I think I'm gonna have to just like take the L on that one. Pull it all the way back out. That's just how it fucking be sometimes, you know? I'm an amateur seamster. Because I'm not a seamstress. I have a penis. So, I'm a seamster. Fucking Christ. Bro. It's so hard sometimes. Fucked up this entire side because I was going too fast. How? It's silly. That's just how it be sometimes. Might as well connect my Discord account to Restream as well. They can have it all. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't really change much for me. I don't really need the Discord integration for that. Whatever. I'm so close. That fucking corner is all stitched up. I'm a dumbass. Can't believe I fucking stitched that shut. can't believe it. This is an okay mix. You know what? Fuck it. Let's find something cool to watch. I'm thinking, well, you know, not me, of course. I'm definitely not that cool to watch. The Pasta Prince of LA. Fuck, dude. I'll watch it.
The Prince of Venice title was given to me by the King of Italy, which is my grandfather.
What? Your grandfather?
There's no food truck with fresh pasta. We're the only one. You
There's a
can
really
be
good one in
a
fucking
policeman, a
Dallas.
prince,
Not a
a
food truck,
banker,
but
or whatever, but we all are the
Restaurant.
same when we eat our bowl of pasta.
He looks like one of the Bogdanovs. He's got like. a
I
weird
want the
Bogdanov
best
chin.
of Italy meets the best of America.
And by that,
I'm
I mean, it
Emanuele
looks like
Filiberto
he's
di
got plastic
Savoia.
surgery
I'm the
each
Prince of
month.
Venice, and
Maybe he's
we
just a
are
pretty
now in downtown LA because I created 3 years ago a food truck of fresh Italian handmade pasta.
That looks so nice. Honestly.
The business is called Prince of Venice. It's not
hungry.
very
Shit.
original. It's my title. We mainly use
Esther.
Italian pasta
Boy,
recipes
fuck
that
me,
can go
dude.
from pomodoro
I'm wet.
pasta to bolognese to truffle to lemon bucatini to pesto, amatriciana, carbonara.
Sexy.
So the basic Italian pastas. I wanted to be able to serve
Oh, I'm
a
so close.
quality
So close to where
restaurant
I can
pasta
start to
even
fuck-
better, I
start to
think,
fuck up.
in the streets of LA.
God, that went so deep. I fucked
There
up
is
so
my
hard.
favorite quote, which life is a combination of magic
Magic
and
and
pasta.
pasta. I love that. What a great.
So this is Federico Fellini who said. So we arrive in the morning, and the first thing is to do the fresh pasta.
The first thing.
The pasta machine can make all sorts of different shapes. It goes from macaroni, bucatini, which is spaghettis. We have something called creste di
Spaghettis.
gallo, which is, you know, the rooster
that
has the things on, how do you call it? The semolina and the flour and everything is fresh, and you can also eat it like this if you want. This is the heart of the Prince of Venice. And this is what makes it beat.
Here we go.
Generoso
Thank
Celentano is my
God.
head chef. He
All right,
comes
where the
from
fuck is my
Naples, and he's been cooking all his life because Italian, they like to cook, they like to sing.
I love this guy.
I
What a
always
great fucking
tried
attitude.
to hire Italian chefs.
Italians,
I
they
wanted
love to
all my
cook, they
chefs
love to
to
sing,
have did
love to
pasta with
fuck.
their grandmothers. The Italian grandmothers, they like to eat well, and if their
ain't that
grandson don't cook well,
My Nona, she don't fuck around.
then it's trouble. The amatriciana, which is the famous one with the guanciale. Guanciale is the jaw of the pig, and this is my favorite.
Pig jaw. Huh.
Generoso
That's
made
interesting.
the bolognese, which is a bit our seller, if I can say.
Yeah, it's made with ground beef, carrot, celery, onion, and the San Marzano tomato.
This is the famous tomato I told you, the San Marzano.
Everyone knows San Marzano.
The cheese wheel is something we like doing also on the shop. It's
Who the
a
fuck would
wheel
use,
of
like, a Roma
Parmigiano
or whatever the fuck
Reggiano.
else?
What we like to do
Make a
is
terrible
to
choice.
finish it in the cheese wheel, so the
what
heat
kind
of the
terrible
pasta
Italian
will make
would
the
you be
cheese
if you
melt
fucking
with a
didn't
spoon.
use San Marzano?
You can get this wonderful cheese and put it on top of the pasta.
Garbage. Garbage.
This is the truffle cheese.
It's always San Marzano.
This
So we're
is the
sauteing
famous
some mushroom.
truffle macaroni.
Okay.
As I told you, the truffles
sexy
are
looking macaroni,
quite
no
expensive,
lies.
quite rare.
Let's try to thread this.
My family history, we start in the year 1000. Well, my great-great-great-grandfather, Victor Emmanuel II, got the throne by
Wow.
unifying
That's a
Italy.
long
So he
family
came
history.
from the
Fuck, dude.
north, and Garibaldi
Auspicious.
came from the south. Italy was
You're a food truck
united, and he became the first king. My family were
family
kings and queens of
has
Italy
kings of
until
Italy.
1946.
That's rough.
And after the war, there was a vote in Italy, and they decided on republic. So all my family went into exile. I was born in
You got
Switzerland,
fucked up.
and I studied all my life in Geneva. Until I was 30, I never went back to Italy because I
That's very
couldn't.
nice.
Because
Interesting.
in the new Republican Constitution in Italy, there was a law which said that the king, the queen, and all the male descendants could not go back in Italy. It's like if you have this incredible chocolate store just underneath your house, and you have the smell of the chocolate, you can see the chocolate melting, but the door is always closed.
That's a shame. You can't go back to
Thinking that a boy that had nothing to do with history could not go back in his country, for me it was a little bit sad. So that's also perhaps why I always
You are so
wanted to
violently
create and promote the culture of my country.
that you can't go to.
Fortunately, in
Absolutely shuns you.
2002, this law changed and I was able to come back to Italy.
Oh, thank
A
God.
lot of things were
That's
written about me, about my family. And I said to myself, how can I present myself to Italians? And how can they discover who is the real Emanuele Filiberto? So I decided to participate on Dancing with the Stars.
He was on Dancing with the
I won
Stars.
the world record of votes,
Oh my
even
God.
more than in America.
How
People
auspicious.
discovered me, and I had success in Italy. They liked me, and I continued in television. I hosted Miss Italy, which is like Miss America. I hosted very big shows. After 4 or 5 years, I decided to stop television and decided to do like entrepreneur business. I love racing. I love racing, and I like very muscle American cars. It has always been a passion. I was in Los Angeles 3 or 4 years ago in these big parties or events at Paramount Pictures, and I discovered the scene of food trucks. I arrived there with a friend, and I wanted to eat pasta. So I looked around, and there was no pasta truck. So I came back home and I said to my friends, why don't I make one?
Make a pasta truck.
People liked us, and it became a success. So we really became, I think, in Los Angeles, the reference of fresh handmade pasta. Today, the brand Prince of Venice is very well known here. We do a lot of film premieres. We did Jumanji, a lot of very important gatherings and private parties. So I'm very happy for this. So here it is. Thank you.
I'd
But
like
I
some
perhaps
fucking
did
pasta.
also things which were not very conventional for someone in the royal family.
fried some
But I
mushrooms,
always
a little
did
bit of
what I
garlic. I
wanted
got
to
some
do
pasta
at the
sauce
end,
on
and it
there,
worked very well. I don't say Italians do it better, but pasta Italians do it better, let's say. There's a phrase of a French author which says, as high as you're seated, you're always sitting on your ass. So we're all equal. Thank you. Who's an icon and who's not an icon? I'm a street food lover.
I love that. That's a great fucking strap. You see, this is why most punks, they don't do their own patches, because it's incredibly time intensive.
Hey guys, Fan Hits Live. We have a little two-parter for you. We're gonna be doing some dry-aged meats, some pork.
I
and
am
some
not
beef.
most
We're gonna
punks.
head over to Prime Foods out in Long Island, see it on a big scale, and then we're gonna have the folks from Meat Hook come in and show me how to do this at home, so you could do it at home, and we can all dry-age meat together and have
Okay,
fun and learn.
I'm down. I'm down to see what dry-aged meat looks like. How can you do it yourself?
All right, guys. So we're over here at Prime Foods and meeting up with John. He's gonna show us around this fine establishment and
this
learn a
fucking
little bit
patch
about
is-
the
it's
dry age
coming along
process.
slow.
You know, and on a larger
Right side's
scale.
almost done.
I mean, there's one ingredient.
But-
right? I mean, essentially, we're just dealing with
not
beef.
easy.
I mean, other than what's in the air and the
We're getting towards the
without
bottom
getting a
part,
microscope
though.
involved.
So we
Let's
are
be-
moving on
Say if
fucking
myself
forward.
wanted to get a piece of meat and try
Slowly
to dry
but
age it,
surely.
where would you
Ow.
recommend
Almost stabbed
getting
myself.
beef?
Right here.
Oh, dude, guys with beards.
So I mean,
my
you
favorite.
don't.
I understand. So
You don't want to go to your general supermarket and just get.
No, the reality is you might have a heck of a hard time just finding even the proper subprimal beginning piece
Sure.
to start the dry aging process.
Right. So what do we got going on behind us? What are
It'd be
these
hard
guys
to
doing?
find
So
the right
literally,
piece
you're
of meat to
looking
dry
at a
age.
wall
It's interesting.
of probably
Did not
over
know.
400 or
I
500
thought you could
short
just dry age
loins.
with the
We're in our
fucking
selection
loin.
cooler right now, so we're probably in about 36 to 38 degrees right now. And what you're seeing here is a daily occurrence. So
Sure. Oh, wow.
this is going to be gone by the end of today, and tomorrow we'll be doing
Wow.
the same thing over
That's
and
a
over
lot
again.
of fucking
Is this
meat,
all
bro.
going to be dry aged, or is this?
No, actually, very little of this
Okay.
will
Okay,
make
cool.
it into the dry aging process. It has to be right in every aspect for it to make it to the dry aging process.
That guy is
So a lot
very
of the
serious
pieces
about
that
meat.
won't
Like,
make
do you
it into
see
the
how
dry aging
fucking
process.
wide his
There's
eyes
nothing
are
wrong
open?
with them.
He
They're
is
beautiful pieces.
Absolutely.
serious about
Nothing
meat.
goes in there
He
unless
does
it's
not
right
fuck
to be
around.
dry aged.
Sure. I would love
This guy
to
likes him some
see
meat.
like 2 pieces of meat, like one that would qualify for the dry aging process, and,
And
one,
one that
that would,
wouldn't?
you know,
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense. To
Absolutely.
Dry
We got a couple of pieces up.
Let's take a
exactly
walk.
that might do something like that. This is a perfect example of the spectrum that I was talking about. So these both of these pieces are USDA prime, but within that spectrum, there could be a huge variation. You see like the rosy color,
Yep.
you see the well-distributed intramuscular marbling in the color, you see a good covering all throughout. It has the proper kind of fabrication.
There we go.
You know, on this piece, again, although it's USDA prime, the marbling is not nearly as defined.
Sure.
Even
For
when
some
this
reason,
carcass
the
was
one that
split,
he says
it wasn't
isn't
split
good for dry
perfectly
aging is
even,
the one
so
that
if I
looks
were to
better
lift
to
the
me.
shoreloin, it won't have the bone
Why
on the
is
bottom
that?
of
Perfect.
it.
Do I have
Flat
bad
stance.
taste?
Right.
Am
Or
I
the
just a
bone that
scrub?
protects it through the dry
Is that what
aging
this is
process.
about?
So you
And that-
always want bone in.
You always.
I think
yeah,
I might
we
just
only,
be a scrub.
We only dry age bone in cuts.
Right.
We
What a
don't ever
fucking
dry age
terrifying
bones.
life.
Then why is that?
To be a scrub.
Because the bone and the fat are what protect the meat.
Okay.
So if you were to start dry aging
meat,
boneless meat,
protect the meat.
You're dry aging all sides of it and dehydrating a cut on all sides. So eventually you're going to have to trim that subprimal and cut steaks.
Huh.
Much more lost cut trim.
But you're also going to
That's
be
fucking
trimming into the
fascinating.
eye of the
The
finished
things you
product.
learn
You
by
don't wanna
watching
do that.
food
You don't wanna
YouTube.
alter-
There's a whole
Food
bone
YouTube is the
shield.
strangest
Right, you
K-hole.
can just cut it out.
You just end
want
up
a nicer fat marbleization in dry
watching a
aging?
bunch of
Okay,
fucking
so
dudes
that'll
talking about
benefit the
steak
dry
in a
aging
cold room.
process?
It really does.
Dudes with
and
beards.
Like I said, at the end of the day, you're not
Dudes
gonna
with
go
beards
through
know
all
so
the
much about
trouble
dumbass shit.
and effort of dry aging meat if it's not going to be a spectacular
That's why
steak.
I,
Sure.
a
We're
man
not
without a
targeting
beard,
mediocre here.
learn
All
from
right, great.
men
I
with
feel like I have a
beards
good
all
idea
the
of
time.
what we're looking for.
They always
My
know something.
concern
always
with
know
these
something.
cuts that we were talking
Trust
about
them.
is, will I be able to cut that at home without like doing that with a hacksaw sounds miserable, and I don't have a
Fuck me,
bandsaw.
Jesus Christ.
For the piece that you want to
That's
dry
really
age yourself, chef,
thick
Yeah.
part of
we
the
give
fucking
you
patch.
a rib piece that we've taken the chine bone off.
We're about
already.
halfway through
And
the
so that
bottom
when
of
time
the
comes
patch,
and you
by
want
the
to enjoy
way.
it, you could just use
For
your
those
Pick your rib and cut.
take
who
your
are
rib and
late,
cut in between and
This is
can
what the
handle
patch
that.
and go
looks
to
like.
town.
You call me
It
shit.
is a cat that says death. It has a red mouse in its mouth.
Well, we
I got
actually took
from
the Liberty Chef.
Yeah.
fucking
Next
Hot
chef, this
Topic
guy was
today
chef.
because my
Do
girlfriend
your worst.
was
We've got
applying
some,
for a
some
job at
labels
the
here
mall.
for you, and this is
And
going to
I
end
got
up in our
bored
dry
and I
age
wandered
room.
off into
Little
a Hot
labeler and
Topic
everything?
because I'm
Pick your
fucking
own.
like
Okay.
that.
You can pick your own piece, have at it,
Speaking
and then we'll
of,
find a nice
that's my
little.
Tampering is
girlfriend
punishable
messaging.
by death. I like it.
Absolutely. We'll find a nice little nook for it in our dry age room.
Well, this one seems to have a pretty nice fat cap on it. Nice little marbleization. Yeah.
I think we're going to put your name on it, right?
Oh
We got
yeah. That's it.
Brad's product, and this is going to.
What a dick.
We're going to find a nice little nook for it in the dry age room. You could pick that too.
What
and,
the fuck?
Oh, perfect.
And then we'll come back when it's ready. And,
Well, speaking of this dry age room, should we take a peek at that?
Yeah.
operation?
Take a look, yeah.
Huh?
Also, she saw I was
Took a dry
streaming,
age
so
on.
she asked me if I finished my homework. Oh no.
Moment of truth. Are you ready
Luckily,
for
I
this?
did
I'm
finish
ready.
my homework.
Okay.
It's gonna punch me in the face, isn't it?
No.
No.
No, you should be like, just fall
I'm
into
not
it.
paying attention.
Oh
to
my
it at all.
God.
Just the sound of
Oh,
burning
it's
men
almost
talking
like-
about meat in the background. That's what I really need.
Woo!
Come on in.
Come on in, you're letting the funk
So this
out.
is. Please, chef, have a seat.
I like
I
that.
feel like you're in the
Brad?
mob.
Welcome to our round table.
Yeah, man. So what exactly is
I
happening
love
here?
that
It's
table.
cold. I
Just a
noticed there's
fucking
no
table
lights.
covered in wine glasses
Other
in the
than-
middle of a
This,
fucking
you know,
meat
for us.
cooler.
Sure. There's a lot of things happening.
Bro,
We're running
how sketch.
simultaneous
I love
heat and
it.
cold to try to balance the moisture and the temperature. You have the high velocity fans, which obviously you hear, the black lights that
And
we
you
run
need
under.
that. You need that.
You need every component of
every
that.
component. So we got air moving. We're trying to pull moisture out of the beef.
Regardless of whether we're
think-
trying or not,
I
it's
don't
going to
think I have
happen.
enough
Okay.
thread to finish
And
this off
so,
with one thread.
what
because
we're
I've
really
broken
trying to
my
do
thread
is just
twice now.
safeguard what we feel
So,
are the best conditions
I'm going to have to
that are
do this
necessary
a
to
little
produce
sparsely.
optimally dry-aged,
And then
flavorful
probably
beef.
cut up
Right.
another piece
You don't
of
want
bread.
bacteria, you don't want any
Sucks.
kind of pathogens, anything like that growing on the meat. We want our meat
That's just
aging,
how
not
it
rotting.
be.
Not rotting. So
Sometimes.
it's not, sure, it's breaking down in a sense.
Yes.
But with what? With
I have no regrets.
enzymes and things
You
that are
can't fucking
already
stop
in the
me.
beef.
You want
So
the naturally occurring enzymes.
not what's
Right.
in the air.
You don't want the
The
process to
naturally
happen
occurring
from the outside in. This isn't cheese.
Okay.
You want the enzymatic
make
degradation
cheese, bro.
happening in the connective tissue within the meat, working its way out.
Oh, gotcha. So it is like when you look behind us, where you get like that bark or that crusty, I hate to say the word, but like scabby kind of set So that's not adding the flavor. That's you're sealing what's
Yes.
inside.
You want a firm crust.
There we go.
You don't want any indications of rot. No questions asked. You
No
never, ever want
indications
that
of
on
rot.
dry aged beef.
Right.
Ain't
If
no
you saw it
rot
on anything
here.
else, would you eat it?
Right.
You wouldn't. If you
Right,
saw
right.
it on chicken or
We don't
pork
eat no
or
rat.
veal or
We
lamb,
don't fuck with that.
so why have it on your beef? Our personal touch is, like we did together, really looking at each piece, making sure the quality is what it needs to be, and the rest of the process in here, the beef
Just
knows
sort of
what it
happens.
needs to do.
The
Sure,
beef
sure,
It's
knows.
been
knows.
happening
The
for
beef
thousands
knows.
of years
Okay.
before traditional refrigeration and
Trust the beef.
Just like I do a lot of fermentation. You know, that was the original before there was refrigeration. That's how
Trust
they
the
preserved
beef.
Absolutely.
and carried
Trust
food for
the
longer periods
beef.
of time. So like, I like how you said that. This is not a new thing.
This is not new, no.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have the facility, obviously.
Right.
Not a new
I
thing
reckon
at all.
this might be a good place for me to place that piece of meat.
I
picked out,
imagine
yeah?
it would be. Matter of fact, we took the liberty, and Nikki's gonna.
They sound very
Nick, you
drunk.
mind bringing that
honestly. I
rib
love
in?
every
There you go.
The meat.
time they have Brad on. It sounds like Brad's
Ah,
at least a beer deep.
Perfect. Thank you, Nikki.
All right.
Because like,
You got a
I
spot
think
for
Brad
that?
just smokes
Yeah,
a ton
bud.
of fucking weed.
Front,
Brad is
front
way
and
too
center.
chill for life.
There you go.
So, John, how long do you think? Well, I guess I'm the client
Well,
here.
It's not necessarily
like-
chill. he's,
Absolutely.
like,
I like a
super
real
friendly.
nutty flavor. I don't
Fucking
mind it to be
country friendly.
what some restaurants might consider for the general population a bit aggressive.
Okay.
I kind of like it.
If you're up for it, I'd say maybe we go for 45, 60 days.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so we can check in with you.
Minimum 45.
All right, we'll do 45, and then if you can't make it here, we'll come in and we'll FaceTime a little bit, and we'll show you
I love that.
how your
yeah.
rib is doing, and you can let us know when you think it's ready.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, man.
Reserved. Nice. I love how they reserve the meat. That's sick.
What's the date today? The 6th?
What is the date today? It is the 6th?
9/6/2019.
11/6.
What?
11.
11.
Yeah, that's what I meant. All right, so we're back in the test kitchen. We're gonna get going with
2019.
dry aging some meat here.
November
Try like
in this
hell.
video.
Brought in some pros from the meat.
It's
brought
forever
in some,
ago. Bro.
brought in some pros from the Meat Hook over in Brooklyn, one of my favorite butcher shops here in the city. Woo! Well, I needed someone to help me because I don't know what I'm doing. You know.
We'll make it up as we go along.
I mean, we went today earlier. We were over at
The Triple B.
Prime Foods over in Long Island.
Bad
Yeah.
Brand
With
Brand.
John. You guys met John there.
Brand
We know
Brand
John.
Brand.
Yeah, John's a good dude. So he sent us home with this.
Food
nice
YouTube is
piece
just the
of,
weirdest K-hole.
of
I end
red
up
meat.
here a lot.
Same as what you guys
I don't know
brought.
why I end up here
Yeah,
so often.
we
But very,
but
but very different looking.
Yeah,
just how
we
it be.
brought bone-in ribeye as well, but
I
very
ain't
astute.
worried.
They are very different. This is, I would assume, from John,
Yeah,
grain-fed, grain-finished.
for sure.
This was born on a pasture, grass-fed its entire life. This is probably, I would assume, somewhere between 12 and 18 months old.
fuck.
This
Yeah,
was
kinda
about
corner.
30 months old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the fat content is way different.
Wait,
And,
yeah,
like,
where?
I'm kind of
How? Why?
I can get into both. I can see here if I flip it, it looks like this one, like, has already got a little age on it.
So we already, all of the meat
There
that
we
we
go.
get, it has already
That's
hung
tightened in.
for
Yeah.
2 weeks. So this is 14 days of age.
Hung as like a primal cut or
Hung as a whole.
okay, cool.
Yeah, so killed at the slaughterhouse, split down the middle, and then hung because it's got to go through the whole process of rigor mortis.
And you said 2 weeks.
Yeah, the rib sections we'll usually hold on to for another.
I think I
another
actually
2
have
weeks.
enough thread.
So
Fuck.
we'll hit
I'm
that like
shocked.
prime
I am
28, 30 day
absolutely
mark, which
blown
is what we
away.
both
That's your
really
sweet
like.
spot you like.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way,
personal, right?
update on
It's
the patch.
personal.
Give me just a second.
So this one we were at 2 weeks already. So maybe we'll
We
go a
only
30
have
day
this
With
little
both-
bit.
with both of them.
This
Cool. one
little
hit
bit
that
of the patch
30
left.
sweet
We're
spot.
almost done.
And then
Patch
this one,
number
it's got
1
the 2
of
weeks on it.
4.
That's going to bring it to another little more nutty. I'm very
I think I
curious
might
to see
honestly
how
only get 2 of
the
these fucking
grass
patches done
fed
tonight.
Beef is going to
Save
age
the other ones for a
compared to
different stream.
To the other.
It's going to be wildly different.
Just how it
Let's
be,
talk
you
How
know.
we're going to pull this stunt off. Right?
Okay.
I know.
Jackets
I've seen
don't
your
get
guys'
sick
video,
ass
loved it.
overnight.
Oh,
Uh,
thanks.
yeah.
You gotta
and
work
how
for a
you,
sick-ass
You
jacket.
did already what I'm brought you on to help me do. And that
You gotta
is
put
create
work.
a dry aging
That's how things get
atmosphere,
sick ass.
Is essentially what we're trying
That's
to
how
do,
you
right?
become a sick
So,
cunt.
at
You
home.
don't have to be a sad
Or in
cunt,
this
bro.
case,
You can be a sick
in
cunt
the
if you want
One
to.
World Trade Center.
Yeah. close
Yeah,
to
you
home.
brought us on to do it, and we
Great
brought
man
Chris
said that.
Kroner on to do it with us. So thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Love that
Thanks,
guy.
Chris.
Let's start off. We got a
Bye.
mini fridge, okay? Come on, over here, Hansi. Gentlemen. Perfect.
Over to the mini
Exhibit A.
fridge. Mini fridge
We got
section.
just a standard mini fridge. And look, we just got a little fan in there. Okay?
Ooh.
And then
Good
this-
looking fan.
Good looking fan, one of the best.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got
That's
that
the
fan.
I just stabbed
That's
myself.
the stuff. What are we even doing here? You don't even need us. You got the fan.
And then this is just a little fancy
That fucking
doodad
hurt.
you know, you
Goddamn.
could do this probably without
Wow.
it, but if I have it, why not monitor it? And this is just going to tell us the humidity. In this atmosphere, what do we need to get a properly dry
That went
aged
pretty deep, honestly.
beef
That fucking
atmosphere?
hurt.
Only three things.
I did not like that at
Airflow,
all.
you already got it.
That's the fan.
That's the
Yep.
fan.
You got humidity controls. You want about 70 to 80%. And then the third thing you need is temperature control, which you have. You want to keep it under 41 degrees.
All right, back over to the
141
to the
degrees.
workstation. All right. Yeah.
that
I've
was-
asked
And we're
you guys. You know,
That's
I said
just outside
we were
the
driving
temperature
over
shaker.
to
Fuck,
Prime
right in the
Foods,
tip of
and I
my
said,
finger, too,
I know a
like
couple
right
people
below
that
the
have
fucking
dabbled
nail.
with doing some
That's a
dry aged
gross
pork,
feeling.
too.
That's a terrible place
Well,
to get
long
stabbed.
story short, you brought in a nice little piece of what is just a rib chop?
Yeah.
Rib chop?
Shoulder end rib chop.
Actually, pretty much
classic pork.
Pretty
It-
much the same part as these two right here.
Right.
Same thing.
Just not a pig.
Yep.
And we'll pop that in there too. Just a little experiment. I want to see how it
not?
goes.
Why
You
not?
know? But would that go the same amount of time as beef?
No.
No.
I mean, you
Hard
can.
no.
You can, but
There are no rules, but no.
But no.
yeah, we differ on this. Brent, go for it. What do you think?
Different
Brent, what is
saturated
your
fats
feeling?
between beef and pork. This
Okay.
has a higher saturated fat content. So
Yeah, finish
the
off this
fat
thread,
content
and that should
of
be into this
pork
batch.
is meant to be dried, but it's meant to be dry cured. That's why pork works so well.
Like prosciutto or
Exactly. Different than beef. You kind of really want to eat that as a steak, and it
As
gets
a
better
steak.
actually dry aged.
sure.
So you can do this
That's
with
fascinating.
pork, but you're probably only going to get a week, maybe 2 out of it.
So other than it's just a cool experiment, you don't think it's doing much for the?
I mean, you went out of your way to get this amazing fridge, so you might as well.
Oh, we're gonna
fucking
try it.
finish.
We're gonna eat it, no matter how it tastes. I promise you that.
What do you think?
I think we got one life to live, and I want to live it to the fullest.
I love that,
Tell you
Brent.
what.
Exactly.
I just
You
want to.
don't
That's a
mind
good policy,
if half
bro.
of that life is with an upset stomach.
No, I'll
Yeah.
take it. I think with this, I would monitor where your water loss is, what your water loss is at, and not the number of days.
It seems
So I
like
would
Brent got a
say,
lot thinner recently.
Let's weigh this.
Did he
We
lose
should probably
weight?
weigh them all, just so we know like
Yeah,
what
I got
we're
my
doing.
notebook. I got a pen.
Oh, here we go.
Hello.
Wow, science, beef.
John. Okay. And beef hook.
Beef hook. We gotta.
Beef
we
hook.
should probably.
Yeah,
should
we
probably
just trademarked that.
Second
one.
shot.
Yeah, everybody stay away from that. That's ours now.
Yeah.
So Johnny Boy's coming. What's he clocking in at?
3132.
I like even numbers.
3132 grams. Okay.
All right.
And this is beef hook.
This is beef hook.
Whoa!
There we
Wait a
go.
minute.
Barely went in that time.
4,900.
Jesus Christ. It is hard to sew the end of a patch.
4022.
It's really always the hardest
Let's
part.
take 4020.
Okay.
4020.
4020?
Easy number.
Little Puerco is
No.
2211.
All right,
That's it.
back over to the box.
Your girlfriend's just like, do you have many viewers
Johnny
tonight?
boy.
Johnny Boy.
No.
Johnny Boy, go right in there. Boom.
I don't. Nobody
Next.
ever watches
Beef
me.
hook.
Beef hook coming in strong.
It's all about just
Last but
being
never
there.
least.
That's right.
Being
Oh,
here.
Puerco.
Cute thing.
That's what it's
Look at-
really.
yeah,
That's what I'm really here
button.
for.
All right, great.
Is
Let's
just to
get our
sit here
fan
and sew
going.
patches
I'll
on
keep
stream
an eye on
and
humidity.
ramble
You
on
said
just
right around 70?
uncontrollably.
Anywhere between
And one of
70
you,
and 90.
eventually,
I like
somebody
higher, so that
will
way you
talk to
get
me.
less water loss, but
And
you're
then
still
I can
having
talk
that
shit at
enzymatic-
you.
Enzymatic breakdown. Back to the board, boys. Let's talk about that.
Eventually. One of these
Pretty,
days,
all we're
someone
doing
will
with
talk
aging
in
is
my
trying to
chat.
get rid of the effects of rigor mortis.
On that
So,
day, I will
have the
fucking
protein
shave
rigor
your
mortis
kid
being-
myself.
Yeah,
in
like-
I know
public.
what it is,
What
but in
happens-
case someone doesn't.
yeah, it's
On fucking
what's it
stream.
look like?
Swear to God, I'll do
It looks like that.
You
That's
can't
it.
stop me. I'll
Accurate.
fucking.
We want to prevent that.
Yeah.
Don't
from
doubt
happening.
me either.
What you have when you go through rigor mortis is actin and myosin, which are the protein molecules that help you kind of like firm your muscles up.
Oh.
Those
One
are
second.
kind of like
My fucking-
staying strong. Yeah,
There
there
we go. F dot Lux
good.
turned on,
So
so
this is
my
something that
screen
would
started going
naturally
all
happen.
fucking
It would naturally
orange.
happen.
So say,
Whoa, bro.
say
I can't
Charlie
see
the
shit
cow
no more.
kicks
Is it
over in the
nighttime
pasture.
or is it
Rigor
daytime?
mortis happens, and then the enzymes, which now are pretty much dormant, they're going to go buck wild, and they just kind of attack all the proteins, and they start breaking those down.
All
So they
the
start
proteins,
making
bro.
the meat
You
more
know?
tender, more
Those fucking
flavorful, start
rods,
converting the
son.
sugars.
Mother Nature is a hell of an artist here, right? So I mean, like this is already pre-programmed into the meat.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to capture that, right?
Exactly.
Setting up over time, you know, before the
Yeah, that's
mushrooms come and the
amazing.
maggots out in the field with Charlie. What am I getting at? I was with it, man.
I was like,
Yeah, we're there.
Now, when should I start weighing these for loss? Tomorrow? Next day?
no,
Give it
no.
a week.
Give it a week.
At least a week.
There we go.
Hugs.
Hugs.
That should be a long time before that bitch starts
Put that hug
unraveling.
in here.
Hell yeah.
There it is.
There's patch
Come on in
number 1.
Thank you, guys.
Death Cats.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
We
try
have
to get you
succeeded
guys back
at
in
our
here
first
so we
patch.
can, when we're done, we can do a little
Let's
side-by-side
get this fucking
taste
safety
of
pin
our
out.
dry aged
Show
product.
you.
We got to come back and eat the steak.
Sick
Yeah, you're gonna have
ass.
to come back and eat the steak. I know. It's terrible, right?
Look at it.
All right.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's
Someone's
sick
gotta
as
do it.
In the
fuck.
contract.
Sick as fuck,
Sign
bruv.
something?
No.
Don't doubt me, bruv.
Okay, we're cut.
Shut it down.
All right, we're secure.
Don't fuck with me, bruv.
It's a wrap. Fine work today, everyone. Except you, Kevin.
Okay. Now, what patch next? This is what really hits me. I'm honestly thinking this one. This one is my favorite out of almost all the patches I picked up today. They're fucking sick.
Can you pick up audio? Or? Well, Hunzi got evicted. Well, good thing we're done on Thursday.
Jesus, what a
Suckers.
terrible policy.
I think peek of the goods, but I just let the pork go too. We just let it go.
Now the question is with
yeah.
this one, do I want it like on my pockets,
Oh no, you can't.
or do I want it
Boy,
like
what I've been
below my
doing
pocket?
as we've been battling with.
Because these are the
with
questions that really
humidity.
haunt my
So
dreams.
I got this little paper towel,
I think it would
and
fit
look at this. Check out this. I'm pretty slick. Put
best
it right above the fan,
his ear,
and
right?
it dries it out rather quickly.
Pretty
And
low
just add in-
near the pocket,
add in
yeah.
moisture to it. And look, you
That
can
looks
watch
about
the
right to
humidity
me.
Go up. Look at that. Freaking flying. It's going down. And it's going down. No, it works.
These are the questions that haunt my dreams, you know?
You guys came in, it was November 6th. It was a Friday, I remember very clearly.
Very clearly.
Last
What a
time I
great
done.
day.
I'll never forget, I wrote it down.
I wrote
So
it
I had
down,
this
it was a
little
Friday.
humidity set up, little reader. Right now we're at 72%. And what you guys were saying, ideally, you wanted to be in 80s,
Yeah,
90s.
it's his.
Yeah.
Wait, is that his right hand?
temperature's
That
a little
is
high
his
because
right
I
hand,
opened-
son of a
because I
bitch.
opened the
Okay,
door
one
a bunch
second.
of
I have to
times.
put it on my right
Didn't
side.
wait till Christmas morning.
I know,
Motherfucker.
I always
Early.
peek and tape them up a little.
Right.
Did it stay at 72?
Yeah.
Over
It
the
got
past
down
month?
to the 60s, it
Do I
got up
put
to
it
the 90s.
like, in my pocket?
We
Yeah, I
had
guess that would
fluctuations.
technically be
Yeah,
in my
alright.
pocket, wouldn't it?
Oh, those shrank.
I like that
We call it
positioning
moisture,
though.
huh?
Like,
It
look
looks
at that.
amazing.
Wouldn't that be sick ass? It's like right where my hand goes. I like it. Honestly, I think that's a great way to put this
And I was
patch
just
on.
placing that
But
above the fan,
do I wanna do-
closing the door?
Now this
and
is
it was
also
just,
a
it
black
was
thread
just pulling all
patch,
the moisture.
of course.
And it was
All
science.
patches are black thread
Science, bud.
patches.
And it was working.
That
but I
is
had
the
to
point.
do it every day because the small unit refrigerator was just
It's a black
pulling out
jacket, you
moisture.
fucking
Bring it
idiot.
to
To
the
the
board.
table, boys.
I can't
All
wait to weigh
patches are
these.
black thread.
Oh, they're lighter.
You
I think we lost like 7% in the first 7 days or something.
Wow.
That's fucking nutty. That's actually a massive weight loss. Holy fuck.
Oh, look at all that.
7% every 7 days?
That's it.
Oh,
Or
yep,
every
yep,
day?
you got it.
Different angle.
Oh, yep. Who knows math?
Not me.
Okay.
My
well,
iPhone's pretty good at it. We'll start with
Not
you
me,
guys.
but my iPhone's
Great.
pretty
Then
good at
you
it.
go.
I like that.
3740.
I mean, he's a chef, not a mathematician.
OG.
They should have sent a poet.
40-20.
That's not. What?
Ah, there we go.
So that's only about a 7% loss?
Oh, no.
Only about a
4,200.
7% loss. Fuck me,
4,200.
dude.
This was a mistake.
7%
It had to be.
loss on a
I forgot to
steak?
tell
That's
you guys
what?
in the note-taking. I think when we jambled them down
10
on Friday,
pounds? That's
we being
significant,
me,
dude.
I think I f***ed that one up. Actually, I think it might have been your fault. I
Gotta
think you might have said
bend
it
my
wrong.
safety pins
I
back
remember
into
now.
shape.
Definitely been
Definitely.
I ruined
Yeah.
safety
Big
pins with
Ben.
these
Fine,
fucking
it's fine.
patches,
He
dude.
said 40-20,
They just
and I
get
think
absolutely
he meant
fucked
what
up.
you said, 4,200.
Well, this scientific experiment is off
Yeah,
to a
exactly.
great start
Oh, we
already.
gotta do it again.
So like we filmed
No, it had to have been.
before
It had to have been 420.
Okay.
So we rolled with that.
4,200.
Yeah.
All right, so according to
Had to
my
be
math,
420.
as
Had to be.
Someone with no experience in math, that's an 11% loss.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think it's right. I don't. Maybe
Fuck,
even
I accidentally pinned the back
4,200 might
again.
not even be right.
I always
It
do
might be
this.
40,000.
Next, we'll do.
Johnny boy.
I
I
stabbed
can't
too
believe how
deep.
much this shrunk.
That,
I know.
that's
Too
insane.
deep.
It's unbelievable. 25-13. That
That's
one
20%.
Like the
loss.
dwarves.
20%?
The dwarves
Really?
always dig
I
too
think the
deep,
pork
you know?
might
I
have-
stab too deep.
shrunk the least.
Oh, I I'm
so excited.
I'm so excited about this.
You guys recommended 14 days, but I was like, forget it. You know, these guys are coming in.
Forget about
in
it.
32 days, and let's just let it go. It was kind of like doing happy things. Yeah.
I feel like because the
No, wait,
humidity
that
was
needs to go
significantly
further up
lower
on the
for a
packet.
longer period of time,
damn
and
it.
ours is higher. Like that's why.
I don't want to like continue stabbing up my patch really hard
Have you
because
ever
I'll fuck
seen
up
the
the
movie
threading.
Chud?
Chud?
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers?
No.
Okay, when we age pork in 90% humidity, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It looks like something that like grew up in like the New York sewer system.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then came out and terrorized the city.
Moldy.
Moldy.
Oh,
and,
fuck
like,
me.
really sticky.
Shoulders
and-
tickle.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
Man.
When
That's
you cut,
why I was against it.
but when you cut into it, I like the flavor.
It was primo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
well, boys, I cracked the code.
18, you did it. You
All
did
right?
it. Lower
Invoice is
humidity.
in the mail.
You cracked the code.
2211 to start. 1875.
That is 15%.
All right. Boom. Right there.
So we were
Damn.
15% pork.
It's a good way to
we were
be, honestly.
20%
Shit.
on the Johnny Boy.
Johnny.
Johnny
We
boy.
were only 11%.
11%.
On the boys.
Interesting.
That's a wild fluctuation.
Hunzy, you want to get a cool shot?
She's
the
too
sake of
cute.
sakes.
She says I'm cute.
Get out of my frame, Hunzy.
Little does she know she's cuter.
Can I
That's
get
just
you
how that
in
be.
frame?
I've never trimmed one up. I'd love to watch one of you guys if you're comfortable doing one first.
Absolutely. Start by taking the feather bones off, which we don't
Fuck.
have any here.
Okay.
But easy peasy.
John took care of you. We did
Yeah.
not.
It's fine, guys. I never
Excellent.
know.
Excellent.
Sorry. For the big day.
Good positioning.
Christmas story?
Pretty
Yeah.
straight.
For Christmas, this is what we
Fuck
sold
my
on
ass.
stuff
I
every year.
actually
Great
undid
story.
it.
Brent, interrupt, and yeah, that's it.
Gonna write that one
Oh
down.
no,
today.
I actually brought up some thread right there. That sucks.
But I was.
Gotta be more
breaking one
careful
right
with my
here,
patches,
and we had another
or
guy
else I'm
right
going to
here,
make
this
them
guy
all look
James.
like
I was taking
shit.
out those buttons, and my knife slipped and went straight into my
That
arm.
would be bad.
And it was like objectively hilarious because my arm just.
You know, I'm not even
sprayed
watching
blood
this
all
video.
over
Are you guys?
James's
Because
face
I think I
and
might just switch to something
It
else
was
at this
amazing.
point.
Anyway, that's my.
Working in a
Let's see how this. I want to see how this steak turns out at the end, and I think that's about where I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
After that, I'm going to
yeah.
watch something
Great.
more
Yeah.
entertaining.
see
Wow,
the-
I've been watching that video for like 20 fucking minutes. Jesus Christ, bro. Why didn't anybody say anything? Huh. Wow, who the fuck would watch that kind of trash? Fuck me. In FPS campaigns. You know what? Game Maker Toolkit always
Hey,
makes
hi,
good
hello.
videos.
Mark here with
Mark
Game
here?
Maker's Toolkit.
You
You
always
know,
sound so
I
nervous.
used to love first-person shooters. I grew up playing games like Doom, Half-Life, Blood, No One Lives Forever, and
I
Duke
never
Nukem
played No
3D.
One Lives Forever. I've heard it's
I
pretty good.
used to adore this genre, but more recently I've become pretty
Where?
bored with the shooter
This
campaigns.
is my threat.
We see the same game mechanics and the same combat loops and the same level design over and over again, just
Oh,
with
thread.
slightly different hats. And maybe a flying section if you're lucky. But in 2016, two games came along that reminded me just how much fun a shooter can be. Because when developers are more interested in frantic firefights and varied gameplay
there it
than
is.
historical accuracy and set-piece
I found
explosions,
it.
we end up with games like Doom, which is id Software's gory tribute to 90s game design, and Titanfall 2, which has more
Titanfall 2.
imagination in one level than
The
most
greatest
games
game
achieve in
of
their
all
entire story
time.
mode. And yeah, everyone's already
disagree with
said
me,
how
fucking
awesome
fight
these
me
games are,
personally.
but considering how much I
Show
enjoyed
up
them,
to my
I think
house,
I'd be
I will
remiss
fight
not
you
to
in
cover
my
them on
backyard.
the channel and take an in-depth look
give a
at how
fuck.
these two
I'll
games
call the
basically
cops.
saved the first-person
On
shooter
myself.
campaign.
I'll be like, yeah, I kicked
Starting
his ass for
with
talking
Doom,
shit
which
about
has the
Titanfall.
best
What are you
combat
gonna do
loop
about it?
in a decade. Wait,
And
when
I'll
did
kick his
Resident Evil
ass
4 come
too
out?
if he doesn't like Titanfall, because fuck the police.
Yeah, best in a decade. Each encounter in this game is a breathless scrum between the demons and the Doomslayer,
I really need to play the new
who
Doom
ricochets
games.
around the
I
environment
really
like a
haven't.
pinball,
I really like the
bouncing off
original Doom,
enemies and threading
but,
through
like,
tight corridors to pick up health and
I don't know,
ammunition.
I just don't-
It's
I don't like
fast,
Bethesda anymore. I
basically.
don't trust
Not
those
just because your movement speed is high, but
Such
also because
bastards.
id forcefully rejected just about every piece of shooter design that has been employed to slow this genre down. Like, take aim down sights. In a normal shooter, accuracy sucks when shooting from the hip, So you have to zoom in to look through an iron sight or a scope, which massively reduces your speed. Doom ditches that. Outside of a
Doom's
few
just like,
guns,
nah,
there
fuck
is
that
no
shit,
aim down
bro.
sights. Also, you're as accurate when running at full speed as you are when standing still, so you can shoot when you're on the go. And because you can strafe at the same speed as you can run,
grab.
you can orbit
Grab.
around an enemy,
Where's
pummeling
my-
them with
my
bullets
needles,
and
bruv?
avoiding their fire. Oh, that's because enemies use projectiles instead of hit scan. A quick reminder, hit scan weapons hurt you as soon as the enemy pulls the trigger. Projectile weapons fire physical, slow-moving objects at you that you can dodge. If you do get
This is
hit,
always the
you
worst
won't
part of
be
the stream,
hiding
the part
behind
of the
cover
stream
for your
where
health to
when I fucking
regenerate. Instead,
back through
you'll
my
need to
needle.
hunt around the arena to find a health pack, or even better, run towards an injured enemy to unleash a glory kill, which lets loose a shower of health pickups.
Back.
If most of Doom's design keeps you moving around enemies, the glory kill system pushes you towards them. It makes you feel like a brutal predator, taking down your prey one by one. Plus, that satisfying split-second animation gives you much needed time to blink and consider your next move. Because Doom is a surprisingly tactical shooter, where you're executing different plans all the time, just at 100 miles an hour. As I talked about in my episode on the original Doom, this new game has a bestiary of unique demons who all work in very different ways. There's the Revenant, who
Haha.
batters you with missiles, the bumbling Cacodemon, who floats in close
Hell
to
yeah,
munch on
bro.
your face, this
Hell
dude
yeah,
who
bro.
chases you about like a quarterback, and the Pinky Demon, who you take out like a
Fuck
bullfighter.
pinkies.
It has a shield on the front, so you wait for it to charge past you, and then blast it in the butt to kill it. So you'll need to pick your priorities, which might mean dodging pinkies and Cacodemon fireballs while you focus your fire on a deadly Hellraiser or an annoying summoner. Each enemy makes you move in a different way too,
Huh.
as you head for cover or snake through bullets or just
It does
run the
look
hell away.
gorgeous, though. It is
And
a
then
pretty
there's that
fucking
other
game.
piece of shooter wisdom that Doom punches into a billion bits. While most games limit you to a couple weapons at a time, Doom lets you carry an entire Walmart's worth of firearms on you at once, all accessed from a radial menu that slows but doesn't stop the action.
I do like
Different
the radio
guns
menu
have
too.
different
Well,
uses.
I just need to buy
The
a game in
fast action
2016,
assault
don't I?
rifle is great for needling enemies and stopping them from shooting. The shotgun works great up close. The rocket launcher is deadly but risky. And there's the one-hit, one-kill chainsaw, which showers you with ammo but runs out of gas quick. So pick your targets well. Juggling guns and enemies is something of a puzzle, and you've got to figure out the answer in the seconds before you get tackled by a pinky and turn into a thick red paste. This new Doom also adds verticality to levels, with a satisfying double jump, a generous system for quickly clambering up platforms, and the ability to chain a jump into a glory kill for a big leap between spots. And so, between different enemies and different level layouts, id Software can effectively cobble together an infinite number of combat encounters. But, and here's the rub, even the best firefights in a decade get boring after a while, and Doom can be an intensely repetitive game.
Could only
Between
imagine.
endless battles, you get some exploration stuff and some so-so platforming bits, and you can divert from the path to pick up secrets and collectibles. Personally, I vowed to avoid hunting down collectibles forever after shooting 100 pigeons in Grand Theft Auto 4 and
Jesus.
seriously questioning my life choices.
I would.
And I think I'm becoming allergic to upgrade trees too. But even if you do go after Doom's various trinkets
I like
and
upgrade
upgrades,
trees. Upgrade
jumping
trees
at
are good
pipes
in
and
every
looking for
game.
secrets can send the
Upgrade
game's
trees are
intensity from 11 to 0 in painful whiplash fashion. Which brings us to Titanfall 2, a game with an expert sense of pacing and the
Titanfall 2.
best FPS campaign
Once
in a
again, the
decade.
greatest
Wait, when did
first-person
Half-Life 2
shooter
come out?
of all time.
Yeah, best in a decade.
All time.
Now, when I say pacing, I'm talking about two different things. One is how often a game is introducing new and original ideas to shake things up, and Titanfall 2 is doing that constantly through its tautly wound single-player campaign. In this level,
Yeah,
you
that's
grab
a
a
good way to
tool that
describe
can be
it,
used
no
to
less.
turn off fans, flip platforms, and hack robot sentries. Another stage takes place in a sci-fi IKEA factory, as you bounce through prefab houses on a monster conveyor belt. This level has you wall running on a spaceship high above the planet, and of course, there's
that's
press
sad.
left bumper to time travel. Effect and cause,
never
as the
realized
level is
that
called,
my
lets you
Restream chat
ping
wasn't
back and
picking up
forth
Facebook.
between two moments in time, from a squeaky
People have been
clean
talking.
research center in the past to its charred ruins in the present. It's a visual spectacle and a brilliant idea, but what makes it so rad
That's a
is
shame
how it
that the
impacts the
Restream
two
chat
things
apparently
Titanfall does
sucks
best:
hard
combat and platforming. In shootouts, you can phase out of time, then phase back in, now behind a group of soldiers. Then again, the present timeline is crawling with these vicious dinosaur enemies, so you have to juggle two
That's a
combat
shame to
encounters
have.
at once, often jumping
Well,
out of the frying
let's
pan
see.
and into the fire.
If I can.
And then there are the platforming bits
Figure
where
out
you
my
switch
own
timelines
shit.
mid-jump to phase in
Total
combat
party.
and safe spots beneath your feet.
There we go.
Brilliant. And
Hopefully I
then,
can
at
watch
the end of the
everything at the
level,
same time.
Cooper rips the time machine
I
off
had
of his
no
wrist
idea that
and the
anybody
mechanic
had
is
said
gone for the
anything.
rest of the game. Tossed away before you ever have a chance to get bored of it. And that focus on keeping the player engaged is how Titanfall
also
2
kind of
is
annoying how that
always
went straight to my
operating,
personal
because the
page
other
instead of the
aspect of
Hermit page.
pacing is how well a game
That's just
manages
how
to
that'd
mix
be.
up its most fundamental pillars of gameplay. Titanfall 2 has firefights, it has platforming bits, it has Titan battles,
Except for
and it
your
has some
eventually.
story stuff too. And the game does a brilliant job of switching between these sections before you ever have a chance to get tired of them. Each style of gameplay moves at a slightly different speed and tests slightly different skills, so you don't get fatigued
Oh, right.
from constant
No,
action,
Facebook can
but
only
there are
stream
no
to your personal
lulls in the
page
pace either.
if
Some aspects of
don't
Titanfall
fucking
2
go
are
to the
better
pro
than
version,
others.
right?
The platforming's fantastic, though
Totally
why
forgot.
isn't the grapple hook in the single player? The Titan bits are pretty dull, and the combat is really good, but it doesn't quite reach the heights of Doom. Like that game, Titanfall 2 wants to keep you on the move, as seen in the flashy CGI trailer at the start of the game.
The pilot is the true dominant force.
Dumb.
Fast and agile. Graceful, yet devastating.
Sexy.
So you get tools to move fast, like a super long slide and a wall run that increases your speed and your defense, and certain enemies push you to run, like the Tick, which is a sort of frag grenade on spider legs that chases you
It's the
around the
frag
arena
grenade on
and will
spider
kill
legs. That
you
is a
if you don't
good
get
way to
moving.
describe a Tick,
But
other
where
than
Doom
literally the
asks
worst
you
thing
to
that could
move
happen to you
around
any
and
day,
towards enemies,
anytime.
in my experience, Titanfall 2 more often makes you run away from the fight. Part of this has to do with the shooter tropes that Doom so confidently rejected. Aim down sights and slow strafing encourage you to get some distance from enemies before engaging, unless you've got a shotgun, that is.
The
Plus,
shotgun will just
hit
change
scan
your life.
weapons, regenerating health, and even the need to reload your weapon force you into cover and retreat. And if Respawn really expects players to wall run and shoot at the same time, then, well, for one, that's pretty hard. Maybe it's easier on a keyboard and mouse. But also the level design doesn't exactly support it. At the beginning of the game, you run a thing called the Gauntlet, which is a sort of obstacle course where you jump, slide, and wall run while simultaneously taking out foes. The design of the Gauntlet, which is like a winding corridor littered with pockets of enemies, allows for a joyous moment of zigzag warfare as you bounce between walls while letting off shots and grenades. The game itself never really sees anything like this. The arenas are mostly just big boxes, and the platforming sections are completely devoid of enemies. Because if you want gamers to play in a certain way, you've got to encourage them through systems like the Glory Kill,
Interesting
or level
set
design,
thoughts.
or incentives like the scores in Platinum games. Otherwise, they'll more likely play it in the most safe and boring way possible. Because even Call of Duty has wall run these days, but I still
Call
played
of
Infinite
Duty.
Warfare by cowering
fucking-
behind a
the
series
way
of
that English
walls
people
and
say the word
boxes,
call
which is
really
the same
throws
way
me.
we've been playing shooters for years, because it feels like most FPS campaigns have been working off the same blueprints for the last decade. Which is why games like Doom and Titanfall 2 and other wacky shooters like Wolfenstein and Bulletstorm are
Wolfenstein.
such a breath of fresh air.
I wouldn't call
They remind
Wolfenstein
us to
wacky.
question the design trends that have built up
kinda
in
the
certain
opposite,
genres.
if anything.
They remind us that variety comes from clever level design and expert pacing, not just historical set dressing. And above all else, games like Doom and
Interesting set of
Titanfall
thoughts.
2 remind us that first-person shooters can be fun. Thanks for watching. Game Maker's Toolkit is powered by the crowdfunding website Patreon, and these are my top tier supporters. Here's an interesting fact.
fuck
The
you
director
and
and
your
single
supporters.
player
I'm down.
You know, Simon is such a part of our culture. It's even available at McDonald's in Hawaii. Tell me where you can get quarter pounder with cheese, chicken McNuggets, large fries, Simon noodles, Portuguese sausage, eggs and rice, and a fruit punch. I just named my usual order. Right
Son
there.
of a bitch. I fucking snapped the needle.
What's up, everybody? Sheldon Simeon, all the way from Maui, Hawaii, of Tin Roof Restaurants and Lineage. So we are doing
fucking
Saimin,
starving,
and that's
to be
kind of
honest
Hawaii's
with you.
version of ramen noodles. And we're gonna start off with the broth. Our friend, the pressure cooker, I love it because it gets a lot of flavor in such a short time. Saimin is found nowhere else other than Hawaii. It's like our comfort. I ate Saimin every morning. I didn't even know what cereal was growing up. The dish is super simple. It's noodles, broth, fish cake, and some green onions. Those components need to be super flavorful. The base of the dish is usually
I had
some
some fish
type of
cake.
protein. Here's just some pork ribs. Just find the most biggest chicken that you can find that's gonna awkwardly not fit into a pressure cooker.
Thank God that I've gotten better at
We're
throwing
gonna
needles
cover
lately.
that up with some water. We're not gonna be using the chicken, but it's gonna be flavoring the broth, but the chicken's in there with the pork, and then they're marrying together, so you can gnaw on that. Put the lid on. Just wanna extract as much flavor from those. Make sure it's not venting. We'll turn it on to high. Once it starts to sputter, we'll turn it down just a little bit and let that go for 45 minutes. Meanwhile, we're gonna chop up the veggies. They're Japanese because all these different cultures and ethnicities all came together to influence this dish. Kombu, just some dried kelp, has a lot
kombu.
of umami. It's gonna
Kombu is that good
flavor
shit.
our broth. Some dried shiitake in there. We're gonna add some dried shrimp.
Bro, if
We're
I
gonna
could get
just
some
chop
fucking
up some
shiitake in my
carrot,
neighborhood, I'd lose my mind.
Chop up some ginger. Just use
Fucking,
the
I miss
white
living in
part of
Carrollton
leek.
next to the fucking
that up.
Asian market where they sold cheap shiitake
gonna stop.
because they don't in this
Take some
neighborhood.
garlic.
Sucks
Just gonna
ass.
pound them on the board just to open them up. In one of the episodes of Top Chef, somebody was asking me a question. I was doing this and my plate was up like this. And I took it out like this. And once they see blood, they'll stop everything. So I just put my hand down like this. And just continued on. It was a good one. So now this bad boy's been going on for 45 minutes. We'll let this go and then we can strain it out and marry it with our vegetables. You can actually feel it raining down on you. We wanted dramatic and we have dramatic. I'm gonna run this underwater. Okay, that's cooled off. Take out the chicken and save that for another dish later. We'll strain out this broth. And I'm gonna add all my vegetables to that and let that steep for another 45 minutes. While that steeps, we're gonna marinate some beef. And we're making beef barbecue sticks. This is the perfect side dish to Saimin noodles. A lot of these
To
Saimin
anyone,
houses
honestly.
has been open in Hawaii for 70 to 100 years. You can judge a good Saimin house by their barbecue stick. Some Saimin places has chicken. I always prefer the beef. So this is my version of it. Hawaii style teriyaki marinade. In my books, this is always how it goes. Equal parts soy sauce to sugar. Hawaii Japanese cooking, very sweet compared to what you'll find in Japan. And the reason for that, back in the day, a lot of the ingredients wasn't available, so they had to go with the flavor profile that they knew. And the one that they could replicate was the sweet side of the Japanese culture, soy sauce. We'll mix that together. A little bit
There
of
we go.
mirin.
Fuck.
That's all mixed up. Just for some aromats, I'm gonna add ginger. We're not gonna be eating the ginger, so no need to peel it. Some garlic that's been just smashed. Yeah, we're not gonna be eating the garlic. Oh, I made it. Take the roots off of this and just take the white parts. We'll save the green tops for garnish later. I'll just bruise this up with the back of my knife. And that's gonna go in to there.
Just bruise it up.
Give that one little
Interesting.
mix. I'm gonna take a couple spoons of this and reduce that down, and we're gonna use that to glaze our beef sticks. That just comes up to a boil. Let that go just a little
Glaze
bit
the
more
beef
while
stick,
it
bruh.
reduces, and then it'll be
I'm
done.
down.
I'll
That's
turn
good
that
as
off.
fuck. I'm hungry as
reduced.
hell, honestly.
Here we have some skirt steak. Just trim it off.
Skirt.
I'll cut it into these bite-sized pieces just like this. You can use
Some
flank,
skirt steak.
you can use hanger, so long it's cut thin. If it gets a little too thick on the ends, take those and cut those in half. That's gonna go straight into our marinade. That's gonna go
Right in that
marinate
marinade, bitch.
for at least 4
Yeah.
hours. You can let it go
Yeah.
overnight. And then we're gonna skewer it up.
Oh, son of a bitch.
All right, our
Really?
beef has been marinating for 4 hours.
I
It's
fucked
picked up
my
all of
pocket.
that marinade.
This entire side is fucked.
Got some
God
bamboo
damn it, why do I
skewers
keep
that's
on doing
been
this to myself?
in some water, just so that it doesn't burn. Leave
Fuck
a
me.
little bit on the edge
Fuck my life.
so that you can turn them. Saimin's made up of 2 Chinese words. Sai meaning thin, min meaning noodle. And it's a perfect representation of the cultures in Hawaii. People came to the islands for many different reasons. First off, the Polynesians who discovered Hawaii adapted their culture to the island. Next wave were all the different ethnicities that came to work on the sugarcane fields. My grandparents were part of that, the Filipinos. The next ones that came through were the Japanese and Chinese, Koreans, Puerto Ricans. All of these all come together and have a huge influence on our food. I love it that get to celebrate all these different cultures. All right, we got enough for the grill pan. We got a well-seasoned
Here we go.
cast iron grill pan.
Fuck you.
Our skewers are just gonna go down
There
on
we
there.
go.
I want this to be raging because we want to
Son
get
of a
the
bitch.
nice color on top
Got like
of it.
that entire fucking lower line wrong.
The amount of sugar is gonna balance off that caramelization and that burnt just because it's so sweet against that little bit of char and bitterness. We're gonna cook this to a medium rare. Just took a peek. I don't want to move those too much. We really want to get that char on it. It's the smells, people. Enjoy it.
Smells, people.
Live it. It's real. Look at that.
Not real.
That's
Everything's
already
real.
going off. It's nice and caramelized. We're gonna give a flip, and that's just gonna take a few more minutes on the other side. That's almost done, so I'm gonna get some scallions for some garnish. It's gonna be for both our Simon and then a little bit of garnish on top of that.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm down with that.
Those are perfect. We get
Honestly,
them
I would kill for
unstuffed.
some fucking ramen right now.
We'll take the glaze that we reduced earlier, tap those on. We garnish with a little bit of green onions. We'll put the Simon together now.
Bruh.
So our broth has been
Brr.
steeping. We're gonna strain it out, get all of the vegetables out of it.
Bruh.
While we're letting the water come up to a boil for our noodles, typically on the side, the Simon is always served with hot mustard. This is just some
Hot
dry
mustard.
Chinese hot mustard. We're just gonna add a little bit of water to it just to get it to its consistency.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I'm definitely a fan of as much hot mustard as your nose can handle. That Chinese hot mustard is the influence of Chinese into this
Son of a
dish.
bitch. What the fuck?
Sometimes
Ah.
you can go out and seek for these perfect noodles. Fresh Simon noodles is usually thinner. It's usually a little bit darker and then a lot more chewier than your traditional ramen. But sometimes you can't get that. It's okay. Our old trusty friend, dry ramen packets. I grew up knowing this as Simon noodles, but on the packet it said top ramen. Never figured it out as a kid. I thought I was illiterate for a long time. Then I couldn't figure out why Simon was spelled R-A-M-E-N. Did not make sense to me.
Son of a bitch. Ah, I
Simon
thought I
noodles
had
is
pulled it through.
very similar
Fuck.
to ramen noodles. They're alkalized. That's able to withstand sitting in a broth and not being overcooked. 3 minutes. So we're gonna cut some fish cake, some kamaboko. This is pollock that's been mixed up and then steamed off. I don't know why it's always typically pink. What was that moment? Was Cameron around back in that time? When he made fish cake was invented? It's like, we're gonna do it pink, son. We're gonna make fish cake pink.
Make
Our
that shit
broth
pink, bro.
super hot and flavorful. I'm gonna add dashi powder.
Wouldn't they make it pink?
See
It's
that?
extra pink on the inside.
I'm gonna add a touch of white pepper,
Makes
not
sense
too
to
much.
me.
It's gonna get in your nose. And then some soy sauce or some shoyu. Those last minute additions is gonna just up the umami to it all. Fish my noodles out on my pot.
Sweet motherfucking Christ, bro.
Add a little bit of fish cake, some green onion on top. Boom. Ramen's trendy. Simon is for life. What's cool about Simon in
kingdom of
Hawaii?
God.
You go into diners, they have it. You go into upscale
Yeah.
restaurants, they have these upscale versions of it. When I'm away, it's something that I crave when I go back home. Every island has their Simon house. You have Hamura's Simon, which actually has a James Beard in Kauai. We have Nori's over on the Big Island,
Wow.
Palace Salmon over in Oahu. But these places are iconic. They've been feeding families for years and years. We can hopefully continue the tradition of salmon and share it with the world. This is how I do it. Chopsticks in one hand, hot mustard, shoyu in the other. I dip the back of the spoon in there. That's just enough. I get a little bit of soup in there. I'm going
Yes.
down.
Yes. I got it. It's good. All right. Now we can tie it off and keep on going.
I'm right back home in Hawaii, even though we're in Brooklyn. For the recipe, click the link below and come see me in Hawaii.
Dude, I would. Shit sounds dank as fuck. Simon noodles. I'll check that shit out.
Oh my god, you took the door.
Move the pan. I'm moving it.
There we go.
You just want to bite that like a grizzly bear, right? Oh, definitely hit pause for a second. Hey guys, and it's alive. Gonna do one of my faves. We're gonna do a salmon jerky, a little fish jerky. Got a beautiful piece of wild Alaskan coho salmon. I got a bunch of different spices and ingredients. We're gonna make a marinade, get it in the dehydrator. We're gonna call it jerky. Jerky.
Fish jerky.
You can't show this technically. These are November salmon that we worked on together.
Yeah. You took out all my opinions and thoughts and ideas already.
Now with turkey.
Let's talk about cranberry sauce. Ooh, missing sumac, but. So, beautiful piece of fish. You know, again, get the best fish you can get. I want something that isn't going to have a huge amount of
I wanna
fat
buy
content
fish. I
in
can
jerky
never buy
making,
fucking
just like
fish
beef or anything
because
else. You
fish
want
is so
those leaner
expensive in
cuts.
Dallas.
So, like, if you can get a wild sockeye or a wild
I just
coho,
want some salmon.
get wild. This is all about the wild fish here. I mean, this is nice, beautiful color, dense, nice, clean flavor. The belly is the fattest, the fattiest on just about all of them. I'm gonna take like a 1.5 pound piece off the tail, and then save that. We'll cook that up for family meal. Maybe I'll make a little gravlax or something. Hey guys, today and it's alive. We're gonna be making one of my favorite dishes. Well, I guess it's not a dish. One of my favorite foods. Hey guys, today and it's alive.
You know, I might actually.
But we'll
just
nip
play
this right here. Nice lean tail in the back.
hilarious.
Like, look at that. Beautiful fish. Yeah. Beautiful fish. Nice shirt.
Thank you.
Show the world that watches.
Nice shirt.
Nailed you. Right to the T. That's Gabby. So I'm gonna take the skin off. Right at the tail, cut down, and just run it right on the skin.
Fucking God. Get that nail on.
Voila.
There we go.
Beautiful. You take
Tangle.
this, roll it up, and smoke it. Now you could, crisp this up. You do whatever you want. Crisp this up, make a little skin. A little crispy skin number. Do whatever. Give it to Andy. We'll leave it right there for now.
What are you gonna do with that?
I don't know. Like maybe I'll dehydrate it. Make a face mask.
Make a face.
This is kind of my thing now, so.
You gonna take over?
Hey, we're gonna make some salmon jerky today. I got my buddy Brad Leone here with
Hey,
me.
guys.
He's gonna help me out along the way.
Yeah.
And he's gonna provide a little bit of sass coming in.
Yeah,
every once
classic,
in a while.
classic Andy.
Morocco's gonna serve some kind of questionable looks from the back. Rafa's over there.
Questionable looks from the back. Love
Gonna
that.
be a great one. Let's go.
Big energy today on a Tuesday, huh?
Bruh.
Fucking Delaney. The nemesis of the show, the pirate. Okay. Where the hell were we, Hunzy? So, when doing fish jerky, I'm gonna cut this right down the line. And so I don't want super long strips. I like little. We'll split down right down the center into. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's okay. Okay. Just to make it a little bit more manageable. And then usually, if you were gonna, say you were gonna cut smoked salmon or gravlax or something, you would slice it this way, just like you would cut like a piece of fish. For jerky, I like to cut it this way, lengthwise strips. That'll help it stay together, stop from that interconnective tissue, prevent it from falling apart, and it'll just hold into a nice, beautiful strip. So I'll cut it into 4s. Beautiful. And then we'll just slice it into nice little strips. Like an 1/8 inch, about an 1/8 to 1/4 inch. Something like this. And look, when you slice it that way, you see it really keeps together. If you were to cut it the other way, it would start to fall apart, especially after a while in the marinade. Nice, beautiful color. And that's coming from what the fish eats, what this wild fish is eating, you know? It goes out to the ocean, gets into all those like little crustaceans, different types of fish and stuff that it's eating, and then all that is helping contribute to the color of these fish and the flavor. So all about the wild. Get the wild if you can, especially for salmon, especially for everything. My God. We'll add those right to the bowl, and I'll slice the rest of these up. Now, a lot of folks like to cut the dark meat out. And you can, it can be a little fishy for some folks. I kind of dig it. We're going to leave it on. We're going to leave it on and see how it goes. If you're not super into fishy flavored things, I guess you're probably not making fish jerky. But if you are, if you're
Just do whatever you want, dude.
Do I hear a baby? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got babies. All right, so now we're going to build our marinade for this, and we're going to let this marinate overnight in the fridge. First up is the gochujang, fermented Korean pepper paste. It's awesome. You've seen me use it a bunch of times. It's just a great pantry item to have in your fridge. We're going to add 3 tablespoons. Next, soy sauce. I'm going to use a little tamari and a little bit of black soy sauce. If you can't find this, this is a Thai soy sauce. It's awesome. It's a little sweet. It's a black soy. If you can get your hands on it, knock yourself out. If not, just do a little bit more soy sauce. So first up, regular soy. We're going to do 3 tablespoons. Come back in 20 minutes. There it is. Next up, we're going to do the black soy sauce. We're just going to do 1 tablespoon. It's a little thicker, but it's nice. There it is. For our next trick, sesames. 1 tablespoon sesame seeds. Next up, a little cayenne pepper. Give it a little bit of heat. We're going to do 1 teaspoon. Oh, that's the stuff. Now we're singing and singing, baby. Little zingo, bingo, bango, baby.
Bingo, bango,
Next up,
bango. I don't want to live in
miso. I'm going to use, because I had it from another project, some really cool chickpea miso. 1 tablespoon of that. 1 more ingredient. Let me go get another tablespoon.
It's just like a hell experience.
Okay. Who was that, Igor? Was that from Winnie the Pooh? Okay. What was his deal? Just depressed?
He was depressed and closeted.
Closeted?
Eeyore had some
He was dealing with some shit. No one was talking about that, but that was dark.
I thought about him the whole time. I really did.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
What's it called? What was the hyper one? Tigger.
Tigger bouncing off the walls. Tigger, relax. I really feel bad for Igor. I want to like, where is he now?
Eeyore.
What did I say, Igor? Oh yeah, Eeyore. Let's pull this right back down. So adding a little bit of Manuka honey. It's a really cool, thick, flavorful floral honey from New Zealand. And now we're just going to mix this all up. Make it one big, nice, happy thing. Oh, God, I love honey. Woo! All right, let me get a little zhuzh thing. Maybe I'll just use the spoon.
God damn it.
Get that miso all broken down nice. No clumps, no lumps, no bumps. No humps, no dumps.
None of that.
Oh, God. Oh, I almost forgot the wild card, bud. Little piece of fresh ginger. Hi-ya! Just crush that up, let that hang out. All right, now I'm just going to pour that over there. I'll put a little plastic over it, and we'll pop it in the fridge. I'm just going to do this by hand. What's it sound like? Like wet clay? Great, now I'm just playing with it. So I'm just gonna push this down onto it. I don't want any oxygen. Tuck it inside. Just tuck it in a little, bud. Just like that. I'm gonna go pop this in the fridge, bud. And that's it.
Right.
Gabby, walk-in looks pretty good, bub.
Well, thank you.
Right.
The best.
Damn right. All right, we'll give you a B+.
B+.
Right behind you, Morocco. Ooh, smells delightful down here. Madhouse in here. Everyone's mad at us.
I'm dying.
Oh, Claire. We're not done yet. So we're making salmon jerky. I did that already. Oh, yeah, have a snack, and we'll talk about it. Look at that, nice. I'm just going to do it like that. Because they're a little thick. I think they can take it. I like it spicy. You know, it's like fish jerky. You can get away with putting it. It can take a good marinade, you know?
And then how long in the dehydrator?
We do it at 135 for, around 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, not that long.
No, not that long.
Brad.
Yeah.
I was at the microwave earlier.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but notice that bag of
Oh, the egg yolks?
has been there since April.
Yeah, it's now just a novelty. It's just a fun little thing. It's a beautiful color.
Are you gonna open it?
I'll open it one day.
Let me know how it is.
Ooh, these are going to be spicy. They're going to be flavorful, little boogers. I think buggers is what people say, right? Ew, I saw my kid eat a booger the other day.
He seems like a dad.
I can't even, I've never been so disappointed. And he goes, what? I'm like, that is the most disgusting thing. I was never a booger eater as a kid. Claire, maybe you were? No, you were no booger eater. Look, she's acting weird. She might have been. All right, this might take a little while because they're a little thicker than when I did this the first time. But I like that because I kind of like them a little meaty like that. So we'll just set it 135. I'll set the timer for 8 hours. I'll check this by the end of the day. Maybe it'll be done. What time is it? 1:45? Probably won't be. But before I go home, I'm going to drop the temperature and probably just let it hang out. I'll have to assess the situation then. But till then, we'll pop these in the dehydrator, huh? It's going to be spicy, tangy, nice. We should put some of them fermented powders on this. Ooh, what a great idea. All right, so we'll keep an eye on those. Hunzi, if you're around, I'll come grab you when I test these out later. But if you're not, no big deal. I'll just fill you in tomorrow. And we'll nibble on them. We'll taste them. We'll have some fun. We'll check it out. So see you in a little bit, huh? Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. It's the show.
Oh, yeah, we're not done yet. We'll see you tomorrow. Just get out of here. Claire's mad. Everyone's mad. Dan's mad. Fine, Dan's mad. Whatever, Dan. So I'm hoping the new added reinforcements will help the fermentation. And we'll check it in a few days, all right, Hunzi? To the next one.
To the next one.
Hey guys, today it's no. What are we doing now, Hunzi? We're gonna do. Oh, you want to talk about fish jerky, do you? So, have we addressed Kevin at all yet? Kevin. So we made the fish jerky. Marinade was beautiful. Fish was beautiful. We had it in the dehydrator. The production team for one of the other shows, I think Claire was shooting or something. Kevin, he's a great guy. Camera operator, one of the best in the biz. But he really pooched me. He was unplugging his little light system, and he unplugged the dehydrator. Something happened. He called me 5 times. This was a Friday at 7:30. The poor guy. Eventually, I got back to him. He yada yada. He plugged it back in. Long story short,
the fish is fucked.
It's dehydrated. I don't think there's any moisture left. Let's take a look. Kevin. If I didn't like him so much, I'd be pissed. Oh, Delaney. Well, look who it is. Yeah, this is that's what we're gonna call it. That's a good one, Delaney.
Hunzi just gave me he's like, don't leave.
You wore shorts, huh?
Over 90-degree forecast.
Look, matching shoe. Look at this guy. All right, pay attention.
What's up?
So Kevin, Kevin's camera guy?
Yeah, camera guy Kevin.
Yeah, he screwed me.
What
he
happened?
unplugged it by accident. He's the nicest guy in the world. He unplugged it by accident, and we troubleshoot it. Long story short, we made salmon chips. They're very, very dry.
Oh, damn. Honestly,
Taste it.
on a grain bowl or something?
No, it's not a lost product. As a garnish, it's tasty now. You crunch that over a salad,
Dude,
right? Maybe, or
just
a salmon
just
dip or something.
Over fried rice.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Just fry a little rice, scallion, egg.
And let it kind of come to in the.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good idea. So that's what we were trying to do. Thank you, Kevin. No, no, but long story short, it didn't taste bad, right? It's just dry.
No, it's not. It's just, texturally it's dry.
Don't move. Oh, yeah. All right, I like it. Let it roll. So this is a batch. Look at the color difference.
Oh, whoa.
Same marinade, same everything. Just didn't get Kevin's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally different texture. I heard that, by the way.
Kevin,
Culprit.
you shouldn't have showed your face, buddy.
This is nice.
I can eat. I don't know how to phrase that. I was gonna say I could eat the hell out of that.
I'd say
That's fine.
I'd eat the hell out of it, yeah.
I'd eat the hell out. Little road trip. Ooh, you're out on a boat.
Front seat of the car? Ooh,
Front
on
seat of the car on a boat. You're going fishing.
Like when we were
You know,
we had the salmon
that's
on the
good.
boat in Vermont.
That might be the best salmon jerky I ever had. Thanks for swinging by,
I've
bud.
just gone completely silent.
Really
I have nothing
needed
to
that.
say. I'm just trying to sew, dude. Fuck.
So, little happy accident, over dehydrated.
I don't
Hey,
give
this
a
happens, though. You know what I mean?
bro.
You guys
I'm
might
just
have a
trying to
Kevin
get my
running around
batches
in your
done.
world too. I don't know. Either
Trying
way,
not
you
to
might.
die in this
I don't
big
know.
old wide world that
It's
we
fine.
live in.
This is gonna be fine. I'll throw it in a bag, let that hang out. I'm gonna put this back in a Ziploc. This one, I think Delaney's onto a good idea there with the making, maybe I'll make it into a powder or just like chip it out or chunk it out and use it in a fried rice. I think that would be really nice. Even when you make mistakes, I think you can salvage it like we're gonna do with this. It's by no means garbage, by no means. It's just not as tasty to nibble on as that one. You live, you learn. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Thumbnail.
Oh.
We'll give these ones to Kevin to see how long it can stay shelf stable.
Wait, we got this going on now too?
What the hell is this, Hunzy?
What is it? Hunzy, is it?
It's like the Truman Show.
Is this you?
Our life's a lie. Well, I tell you, today's sound guy's a real prick. Yeah. Tidy whitey. Am I a tidy whitey kind of guy, you think? I haven't worn underwear in 6 years.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
I don't wear underwear.
Oh, yeah, what am I saying?
No, like 6 years now. Sometimes when I wear a suit or something, you kind of have to sometimes, like real, like, otherwise you're like, what's that guy from Mad Men, didn't he get, like, he was always, like, he always had, like, pant going. Pant That's the thing, right? Today we're going to show you how to make pant Hoopa, hoopa. Well, Halloween's right around the corner. They're gonna do the BA haunted house. I'll pop out of a freaking with a cabbage over my face.
Bro.
You ever see them? There's a couple pictures on the internet. Where I have a piece of cabbage where I cut eyes out and put a rubber band around it, and it's the Cabbage Patch. Hey guys, saying it's alive. Pretty stoked. We're gonna be doing a little ginger beer, a little fermented beverage, ginger, sugar. You could zhuzh it up a little bit with some spices if you want, but super simple, super fun. Let's make some ginger beer. The internet. A couple pictures on the internet where I have a piece of cabbage where I cut eyes out. You got it.
I got it. Man, if we both
I'm fucking hungry though.
If you were jacked like that and that's all, you'd be dangerous, dude. You'd be like
that's the issue
swimming
about
like
watching
Michael
food
Phelps.
YouTube this late at night.
sure,
I am
I'd also
fucking. I would destroy any
Just be
food
crushing the
placed
world
in
or what?
front of me. I'm just dying.
Hey, damn right you are, Andy. Tall people got bad knees anyway.
I'm gonna get some water. Maybe a snack. I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave this video running though. I honestly don't give a fuck.
Oh, any hoot. So, real simple. It's just sugar and ginger and water. So you want to try to get the best ginger you can get. I got some really nice, fresh, young ginger here from the farmer's market. There's like almost like no skin. It's just like, look at that. It's just like juice, man. Oh my God, this is like what you want. I'm just gonna give it a little rinsey poo. Add it to some sugar and some water in this here fermentation jar. Little little water thing there, little two-way valve, and we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go for a few days. We're gonna taste it, kind of like kombucha or tepache. It's like, it's not 100% set for 4 days and it's done. You gotta keep an eye on it. It's fermentation. We're learning this. We know this. So I'm gonna give this a little rinse and we'll trim it up. So yeah, look how beautiful that is. If you can get it fresh like this, I'm thinking up until where it starts to get green, we're gonna nip off. Little trimski. But these I'm gonna keep. There's something there. I wanna do something with these. Maybe I'll just ferment them for the hell of it. But look, they're fun. They're pretty. Action. Yes. Little trim. I'm trimming these off because I don't think they're gonna add any gingery flavor, and it might give it a little bit of a vegetal off flavor. But we'll leave a little bit. We'll leave those little pink tips. Remind me to never say pink tips again, please. Freaking fruit flies. For the recipe I've been working on,
I got myself just a little bit of
flip
cheddar
through the old notebooks.
as a treat.
I'm calling for 400 grams of ginger. Let's see if we get it out of this. Boy, I hope so. We may have that. I think we're gonna get there. Oh, big time! But we're gonna have a
Sadly,
little
I
extra,
don't have
huh?
any salami. Or else I would have that as a treat.
I'm gonna do 500. Just because I want to. If some of that tougher, old Tommy. How's it going, Tommy? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, bud.
Tommy's cute.
Traveling the world right now.
Traveling the world. We're gonna make a little ginger beer. Oh, you make ginger beer, don't you? I'm losing my voice. Pardon me.
What you told me too is that it's got to be white sugar instead of like the.
I don't think it has to, but for certain, I think it's just the way certain things, like Thanks, Tommy. We'll catch you later, bud. Feed those kids, okay? So some of those older gingers are, more mature. I sometimes
hey,
upgrade
Ken, how's
them
it going?
just to get them all going. But you could crush them or put them in a food processor, whatever. I just like to get juices out. So this stuff is so juicy and beautiful. I'm not even going to use the grater. I'm just
You
going
wanna
to
see the patches
chop it
that I
into
put
little
on so
pieces,
far?
give
They're
it a
pretty
little
sick.
crush. We're going to do 350 grams of sugar. All right, tell me when, Hunzy.
We've got the original ones. I
Where we
originally
at?
put on this Hendrix
342?
patch, right?
What did I say we are going to do, 350?
And then I've got
Close enough.
my snake patch.
So that's our sugar. Now, I'm just going to
Snake hand
mix that. I'm going to add this to our fermentation tank. Let me give it a little
Now,
quick rinse real quick.
As of this stream,
Want to make sure these jars
I
are always
have
nice and
gotten
clean. You just want to ferment
this
what you're
death
fermenting. Not
patch on, which I think is pretty sick.
bit
I
of a
just got
rabbit
this
hole of a
today.
comment. Oh, Kevin.
And then I
Thanks,
just
bud.
finished up not like
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
Kev, say hi to the world.
This
the world that
motherfucker.
watches.
Which I
Yeah.
honestly think might be the best patch of
Bye,
all
world.
the patches on my
So we're
jacket
just going to add the sugar to the jar.
I think it's really worth it.
Like so.
But
Okay.
now I've got 2 more patches
Put that
left
bad
and I
boy
really
right there. Now I'm going
not
to
sure if
crush
I
up
wanna put
the
any more
ginger.
in.
Oh my God, look at that. Look how juicy that is. Look. Not real woody, crazy,
That was
hairy,
fucked, right?
fibery kind of thing. Oh, it smells good. Just want to bite it. Just want to rub it on my face. Oh, jeez. Give it a little
But yeah, I
crush.
went without
Ooh,
water
little crush.
or food for like 2 hours.
No,
'cause I'm a
no,
dummy,
no
and I
Allison
was
in
just
this one.
busy sewing.
And like I said, try to get organic. Some of the other stuff, I believe it's
Very hungry.
irradiated. Chris,
I was gonna get like a
irradiated,
sandwich
right?
Or something.
So what, they like pass it under a
Just
light?
cheese. Fuck.
UV light, right?
You know, I was thinking about
Kill
getting a leather
critters.
jacket. I saw one on Facebook.
Yeah,
Marketplace
it's
just
not
the
as
other
eager to
day,
ferment,
but
and sometimes it wouldn't
leather's
need
not
it.
really my look.
That's right.
You know.
Huh?
And yeah, buttons are easier to
Beautiful.
put on, but I
Now,
always lose mine.
we're going to add,
That's why I
check
moved
my
to
notes real
patches
quick,
instead.
12 cups of water. You know, the best water you can get. Today it's
I
going to
love how they
be
always spell it like that
New York
just to
City
fuck
tap
with them.
water, which is damn fine.
Tap water.
Damn fine.
Damn
But,
fine tap
you know,
water.
if you can get like a melting glacier, go ahead, get some of that. Or maybe a nice little bubbling
kinda-
natural spring.
I kinda
Sure.
wanna put my
You know,
fucking-
hike in, a spot, you get some great water, do that.
Here's a question.
This is 8 cups,
I've
remember.
got this patch.
So what do we
right
need?
here,
We need
this,
4 more after that.
Awesome jams patch.
Get that
And
sugar
so,
nice and
like,
dissolved. That's our food.
I'm thinking
for the
of
ginger,
putting it
for the
directly
fermentation.
below the Hendrix
No, it
patch,
wouldn't.
you know,
Maybe a
associate
little.
the jams with the Hendrix.
A couple little tablespoons of maple syrup if you wanted to
Makes
counter
sense
it
to
out.
me,
That
right?
probably would be kind of cool. That's why I add a little bit of color. You could probably use a little brown sugar if you
Otherwise,
wanted
I
it
was
to be
going put
darker.
it underneath the
Kind of wish I thought of that
collar
before.
line, sort of like
If
the
you wanted
snake
to add
one,
some
I was
other
gonna
little
stick
fun
it on
things here, you could.
other side.
Sometimes I've thrown a little
Yeah, right.
fresh
Keep
bay
these
leaf in.
together.
You know, I love them bay leaves.
Oh, no.
Yeah, now we're just going to let this ferment.
Tempting.
It's Tuesday. I'm thinking Friday we'll meet up. We'll strain it. We'll bottle
This
it.
is going to be
Let
kinda
it do its
interesting,
secondary
because I'm trying not to lose my
carbonation.
cigarette pocket.
So we'll send this to the fermentation station, huh?
Yes, that's nice.
Yeah. Come back on Friday, bud. I think I have a fever.
Temperature with a Thermapen?
With a thermopin.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate it is though. Rectal? Just rectal, a little pointy. Nope, perfect.
I don't think you could do that with.
See you on Friday, man. All right.
Honestly.
Quit following me around, creep. We gotta do another one. We'll do a little wardrobe change and hop right back into this. Same raspy voice. How long's that thing been on? See that little loop I did there? I teach you that in film school, yeah?
Fucking film school.
Yeah, Brad. That's what they do. Oh, Hunzy, what are those? Are those your driving gloves? Those your camera operating... Hunzy, you forgot your camera operating gloves. Oh my God, what kind of O.J. Simpson shit is that? Oh no, there's two of them. Didn't he only have one?
O.J. Simpson shit.
Oh, he had two, O.J., right? He didn't fit. What the hell's going on
let's not
anymore?
talk about
Let me
OJ
just make a real quick little drink. This has nothing to do with the episode. But it's very important to stay hydrated while you work. A little lemon. All right, get organic if you can. They put all kinds of stuff on citrus. If you're gonna buck up and spend a little more money, spend it on your citrus, all right?
The juices.
Those were probably not organic. I scrubbed them well, you know, makes me feel good.
I used to make jokes about that shit all the time before I even really understood
where we
what
leave
the
off?
OJ case was about.
Ginger beer. We used that nice, fresh, young ginger that we
I don't
had.
know.
It was the first time I
That's
ever
the thing
tried
about
making
growing up
ginger
in
beer with
Dallas.
that kind
None
of
of us are
ginger. I
really
thought it was going to be
respectful
like
for shit like that
super
because, like,
active,
fucking
want to
JFK
take
died
off.
in our city.
It's
So,
been a
like,
little slow on the ferment. It's got some nice bubbles going. I stirred it around before I agitated it. It's still a little sweet. I'm afraid if we bottle it now, it might overcarbonate and just be too fizzy. It's hard to tell, you know? Everything's a bit of an experiment. But what I'm going to do is I have 100 grams of just like, I stole it from Gabby, ginger, right out of the walk-in. I peeled it up a little bit. I washed it. I cut any blemishes off. It was kind of, it had a couple little funky spots, you know? But I've used that before, and it fermented like crazy, and this worked out really beautifully. The one time I tried using Sexy Young Ginger.
Where it usually takes me like
Maybe, anyway,
5 minutes.
I'm going to add 100 grams of this. I'm going to grate it up, keep the sugar level the same. I'm going to let it go for today's Monday. You know, we'll check it on Thursday. Check it on Wednesday, Thursday, hopefully Friday. Enough of the chit chat. I just got a box grater on the coarse one here. Be careful, all right? Knock on wood, because it's a real knuckle destroyer. The last little chunk, you know, save your fingers and just throw it in there, crush it or something. There we go.
I think I have.
As it matures, it gets so much more. The fibers within the ginger. What's going on over there? All right, I need you to pay attention. I need you to focus now. I need you now, Matt. Okay? I mean, I know whatever they're doing is probably really fun, but so is this, all right? Fermentation is fun, Hunzy. Look what we're doing, you know? This thing is... My mother's got a sharper freaking box grater than this thing. It's probably 35 years old. You know, the faucet's dripping. They leave me with a wet counter. Dull box grinder, or box grater.
If you
whatever it's
sacrifice your
called.
knuckles to the cheese.
Oh yeah, this is how you just get a horrible cut.
Right?
God, I'm so close. Please don't cut yourself.
Blood sacrifice.
Thing
That's how you
slips,
make the
knuckle goes right down it.
cheese out.
You know, a burry, dull, scalloped blade just right to the knuckle bone. Oh God.
Pussy, come on, you're a
Push
chef.
yourself to open it up
You know
a
how to
bunch.
take a fucking.
So there we got it.
Bro.
Okay? I'm going to
I
add that.
scraped
Hopefully
the
that
fuck
helps
out
just
of my
kickstart a little
knuckles
bit
so
more
many times.
fermentation.
Can't
And we'll let it go for a couple days. I'm going to give it a little stirry poo. Let me wash my hands.
The Parmesan.
Turn the page, wash your
Parmesan.
hands. What's that from?
The Diggeros
Some like,
Daddies.
from some like Doug Funny. No, the other guy. It was like a turtle, and he had that Rocco's Modern Life. Oh my God.
The Cheddar Chiefs.
I forgot that existed. Rocco's Modern Life. There was like this turtle, and he would go, and he had glasses. Forget his name. Turn the page, wash your hands. Anyway.
The soccer blue cheese.
Little stirry poo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Love it. There we
Don't
go.
do that.
All right.
So I'm hoping the new
Start on
added
the next one.
reinforcements will help the fermentation.
Gonna answer my Facebook
And we'll check it in a
messages.
few days, all right,
Oh,
Hunzy?
it's my cutie.
To the next one.
Love it. Raw pics. That's
Hey
like good
guys,
shit.
today and it's no. What are we doing now, Hunzy? We're gonna do.
Bitches love hearts.
Oh, you want to talk about fish jerky, do you? So, have we addressed Kevin at all yet? Oh yeah.
We addressed
Look at the
Kevin.
airlock, bud.
That's a problem.
That's the color. That's not the color of water anymore. That's the color of ginger beer, my friend. Let me take a seat. We'll talk through it. So, ideally, Oh, you're getting, look. There's little
Hi.
bubbles in there, right? Little things coming up. Things are fermenting. Things
Peace
are
out, kid.
consuming the sugar.
Thanks for
and
helping
giving
out
off
with the numbers,
gas.
as usual.
So what happened, ideally,
sure to
you would want a
keep in
little
mind
more
that I guess
headspace
you wanna
than what we
coach
have
side.
now, so that when it ferments, sometimes it'll get bubbly. And what happened was it fermented so much it came up into the airlock and it mixed ginger beer into the water. Not ideal. You're going to want to clean that if you're going to keep fermenting. We're going to bottle it now. Let's taste it real quick. Just going to borrow that, Andy. Thanks. Love the color.
Once I finish this, I'm probably just gonna finish up for the night.
Oh yeah. Now when we bottle it, I like it to have a nice carbonation. So just like in kombucha, or tepache, where we do what I call F2, our
Yeah, right? No,
secondary
if you can send me sick
fermentation,
batches,
where
I'm always down.
we'll bottle it, we'll leave a little
I love a
space,
good patch.
and that residual sugar
patches
will
or
still ferment in
expensive
here.
cosmetics.
The cap will keep the gas in and force it back into the liquid.
got
Carbonation. I'm predicting we'll do.
I always like things.
Today's what? Thursday? Today's Thursday? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'll check it Monday, maybe Tuesday. I'm thinking. So let's get a bottle. Delaney. Hey, guys, down here.
Take a look at.
He's got a camera somewhere.
Bastards.
That's the ongoing theory that I think Morocco and Andy and I had. There, he's got like a camera hidden somewhere, a secret camera. You know, whenever he sees something really cool or delicious going on.
It just shows
Yeah,
up.
well, obviously.
None of that here.
Going on here.
Thanks, Delaney. This is very high tech.
I don't like that.
It's gonna fall immediately.
Why?
Boom.
Why is it like this?
I like to use.
Why?
These are great, man. You know,
Why
if you
is
see
it
people
like
drinking
this?
them.
God
You know,
damn it.
store-bought kombuchas. Great fermentation
Bruv.
bottles. Okay, they already did the hard work. They got the glass. They got the top. They did it all. You see people going, oh, I got my little kombucha. I'm gonna throw it in the recycling. Boom, take that one right back. Save them up, and you got fermentation grade bottles. Okay. Or you can buy like beer making things, like the little beer making bottle. That's fun too. You put the little cap on it. Or like these guys, you know, those like the beer ones, you know. But you can't go getting just the ones that are like, oh, I'm at a little restaurant in Greenpoint or whatever, and they, oh, you guys want water for the table? Yeah, and they come in, they bring in that little pop top thing, looks like this, you know. Those will blow up on you. All right, they are the word they use them. If you go looking it up, it's like they're like ornamental. Now we're just gonna pour them in there, and we want to leave a little bit of headspace, like right here, like
It's like
so.
you don't know what the word ornamental means, Brady.
Okay. Let's see if we can get this thing to pour right. God, I hate them. Tell me when it's getting close. Shake the camera. All right. You know, what can you do with this leftover ginger? I don't know. I don't know. I'm literally asking myself that. Compost it. Let's taste it.
Throw it in the fucking trash.
Mmm. I don't know. You probably just throw it away. You know, you probably just throw it away. Oh God, I keep almost knocking these over. Before you guys got here, I knocked one, broke it all over the freaking floor.
So sad.
Very disappointing. Who's a little shy? We got just a little bit.
Bro.
Oh.
I'm gonna stab myself with this fucking needle if I keep
Yeah, right in the old drink, huh? Not bad. Not a bad yield. What are you drinking today? Ginger beer, great. I gotta get a bar one day, right? I feel like I do this every episode. Just wanna.
Son
Yep.
of a beach.
No problem, Joe. Whiskey? Don't even look up. Yep. Whatever. Just make the ginger beer. Shut up, friend. Now again, there's a couple ways to make ginger beer. I know people like do a bug where you'll leave some like back slop or whatever they call it, where you'll have some of that juice, add to it, and just keep the whole cycle going. I've had great success just doing one-offs like this. All right. But you know, let me know in the old comments if you guys do it a different way. Always like learning, right? Never stop learning. The tricky part, like most things, it's easy to make. It's hard to make really well. So if this doesn't work out, if it overgoes or if it's under, if it's too sweet, you make notes and you just kind of tweak and adjust. That's fermentation. That's cooking. Oh, that's the stuff. Very satisfying. Oh,
yeah, those
dogs.
fucking cappers are such a pain in the ass.
Oh,
I've got a
dogs.
bench capper. Makes it way better. Way easier
Whammo.
than using
Oh,
one
I
of
could
those
do that.
motherfuckers.
I could do that for like an hour. Capping bottles. And then, like anything, you'd probably get really bored of it. Okay. I'm gonna put some fresh labels on them. Little GB, hey
Fresh
GB.
labels.
What's the date? 9. Hey Siri. All right, today's the 26th of September, so you'll probably see this maybe in, I don't know, 9, 10 months.
After it all gets edited.
All right, ginger beer, we'll
Rough
do,
life, dude.
what did I say it was, the 20 what, second? I don't pay attention. I literally just looked at it and like didn't even pay attention. 26. GB, AGB. Oh, this one's already got it on it. GB 926. That's the worst handwriting ever. Looks like a child. Actually, children probably write better. Not in cursive though. They don't teach that shit anymore, right? I can still write my name in cursive. What kind of kids can do that?
Ginger beer in cursive.
Boom, there's my signature. Read it.
He signed something.
First thing ever.
My signature. Read it, bitch.
Give me that back so you don't forge my life. Buy a house with my signature or something stupid. Oh, you want to see ginger beer and script for all you youngins out there? Oh, I'll do it. You might not be able to read it, but let's see. Let's see if I can remember. Oh, capital G. Oh boy, we're screwed. Or is it that? Yeah, something like. Or is that D? That's D. Is that D?
It's D.
It's close. It's something like that, right? B. I think B is just like a big B. I think. Oh wait, I wrote my name. E, and then it was just like a little D like that. Oh wait, I put a D. God damn, Brad. All right, hold on. Let me do beer again. I'm a little dim. There it is. Boop.
It just doesn't want to work all the way through.
Forget the second one because I
it's being
messed
such a
up.
pain in the ass.
Ginger beer and script. So we'll put this back over in the fermentation station and we'll let it go. What did I say? Today is Thursday. We'll check in on Monday, all right? Hunzi. Monday, maybe Tuesday. I'll let you know. To the station, bud. All right? Oh, check this out. Come on. Look at this experiment. Rip it off the wall. It's been there forever. Since March. April. It's been there since April. What this is just egg yolks. Egg yolks, sugar, and salt. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it. Probably nothing. But it's been sitting at room temp in that for like since April. Look at that though, huh? Look at that color. Maybe we'll get Gabby to try it one day.
One day.
Morocco. Oh, we'll trick them. I made this like it's a clarified pumpkin caramel. I know you have like a super palate or whatever you call it, super taster. You know, dip a piece of angel hair in there and just taste it. Let me know what you think. Maybe it's. Ooh, we should do that. No, yeah, you can't get sick. Action. Cool. All right, so ginger beer left off. F2, as I call it, secondary
my
fermentation. We were going to try to achieve some carbonation. Going into it, the whole process with the fresh ginger, I've been a little skeptical. It wasn't really, I don't know why. You know, it wasn't
Having a
eager
rough
to
time
ferment.
with this needle, honestly.
Nice color. I'll give it a
Should
little
choose a
half
thicker
turn. Let some of that sediment drop. Moment of truth. I'm not expecting a big gas off, if any, here, but let's see. You're gonna hold it up to the mic. Hopefully it doesn't psh in my face. Nope. My theory is the fresh ginger. This is a theory. I didn't research this or Google it or nothing.
Or nothing.
I'm thinking maybe either there was some kind of. So yeah, that's this one. Beautiful color. If that was carbonated, I'd be and a little less sweet. I'd be so happy with it. But fool around with it. Try that. That's not a dead thing. But I'm gonna look into the fresh ginger as an issue. Probably should have done that beforehand. But you know, then where's the fun in that? I do have a couple bottles I want to grab. I'll go grab one right now of a different ginger beer that I used without fresh ginger, and I let it go, and it's like bone dry. Like somewhere between this and the other one would be perfect. Let me go get it. I mean, the freaking lid is pushing up.
God
Okay.
damn, the needle's just
yeah.
not going through.
Well, that one worked. Let's give it a little tasty poo, shall we? little yeasty. It doesn't have that punch in the face ginger aromatic that this one has. Super dry. Ooh, you know what? A little combination of the both, maybe, huh? Oh my God, that's really good. It tastes like a high-end ginger beers that you buy. You know, I guess they figured it out. Gabby. Hey, Gabby. Come here. I want you to try something.
Is it
Try
a
this.
ginger beer?
Yeah. It's a mixture of two.
I'm sure. It's
Give it a taste. Let me know what you think.
I'm smelling it first.
What do you smell?
It's a good policy, honestly. I wouldn't take anything for
Don't
bread.
get mad,
It'd be
but
a
it smells
terrifying mistake.
like a cleaner or something. Not in a bad way.
Okay.
Like something refreshing. That's not a bad thing.
Gabby, I'm not upset.
Ooh.
He's upset.
It's good. Give me, let me see.
Drink on the other side, because I was sick. But very subtle. I want it stronger.
Stronger ginger, like
Yes.
spice. What do you know about young ginger?
It's better, right? It's the one that is pink.
Yeah, pinkish and yellow,
Young
whitish.
is always better.
No, but it didn't ferment as well.
I mean, I will drink this.
No,
But I want more
try
ginger.
this.
I want more ginger.
Try this. It's not carbonated and sweet. I think, maybe the opposite. Try that. What's it do?
It has a little effervescence to it.
You're sick?
I'm fine. I took like a week of antibiotics. And if
Oh, this
you're
is the
sick,
mix,
this
too.
will cure you. Yeah, this is not.
All right, dump that swill. Let me try this.
Dump that sweet.
No, it's not very good. Bone dry, remember? Not good. Bone dry.
Sorry. This tastes like soap smell.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. So this one was the fresh ginger that didn't
rough.
really ferment. It's
Okay.
sweet, but if you mix that or put that
the
in,
smell is completely different.
the smell is completely different.
It's like more,
Fresh, pow, beautiful.
Yeah, this is like something that you will be like, oh, I drink this, and you want to sit down? Let's sit down. Come to my bar.
Yeah.
Oh, like he's on an apple box. These I like.
But don't you wish,
It's
if it was
sweeter.
carbonated, it would be awesome.
Yeah, but it's sweeter
Be-
also.
because in the secondary where we produce carbonation, there wasn't enough life force in it to eat the sugars.
This
But
is like a lemon
you add that,
ginger
yeah,
tea.
be good for a
I like
cocktail,
saying lemon, I
right? It's a
know.
fun additive. Boom, you got a little tea, boom.
Oh, yeah.
You got a little iced tea, boom. Little water, boom.
There tastes a moonshine there. Moonshine and this.
Moonshine, this, boom.
That's it. It cures all your bad shushu, whatever.
Oh, your best shoes?
Yes, I like this.
What's the best shoo?
Bad shushu is something else. Bad shushu is like
Bad juju.
bad energy. I like this.
Thank you, Gabby.
Ginger. We say
Cheers.
Oh wait, ginger is jengibre
Jengibre.
in español. Muy bien.
How do you say ginger beer?
Cerveza de jengibre.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
I'm used to Italian words.
Oh, by the way, you notice? Hansi?
What? Oh, nice, Gabriella.
His mom gave me this.
Oh, Mrs. Hunziker, what a gem,
The
right?
circle, you see?
You see?
Yes.
You stick with us, right?
Yes.
All right, Gabby, thanks for swinging by. Oh, God.
Don't die. Oh God, Brad.
What are you going to do? You ever play dry ice? No, you got to pick it up quick and throw it to the next person. You got to catch it. Ready, Jesse? Dry ice, dry ice, dry ice, dry ice. Emma, let it go. You do it with hot coals, too. Jesse, coming at you. Jesse, dry ice, dry ice, dry ice. Who? Oh, we're making a mess. Let's just put water on it and make smoke. Oh, don't go picking that up, Emma. Christ, you can't hold it like that. People think you touch dry ice and like, it's not like dipping your hand in liquid CO2 or liquid nitrogen, you know? Like, you can hold it for a second. Moo-ha-ha-ha. Ha. We're going to open up a haunted house right here, BA Haunted House.
You guys want some?
Emma's going to drop from the ceiling. She'll be a spider. What do you want to be? Yeah, a bunch of fake arms. What do you want to be? I'll be Spider-Man. Spider-Man? All right, we'll get you. But Spider-Man's a hero, not a scary guy.
Spider-Man's fucking terrifying, bro.
Not scary.
Spider-Man's
All right, get out of here. We're
shit.
trying to make a television show. Cut. What the hell is going on?
This part is being a lot easier. I don't know why. Sometimes you just accept that life is easier on the other parts, and you're like, well,
You
why
pick your
would-
battles.
why
It's,
would it be so hard?
it's like a marriage. You know, developing a recipe with someone, especially Andy, it's compromise.
It's
I had to give up my peppercorns.
A compromise.
You wanted the orange.
But an openness, you know, so you could evolve and not stay stagnant.
Right, we're not holding grudges.
Not at
we're
all.
We're expressing and moving on.
We're not.
A lot can be learned here besides Thanksgiving dinner. Might get ugly.
We don't have time to screw around.
What do we do? I will not be the last thing on that table. We're sizzling over here.
Best one yet?
For sure.
Oh, no, Andy!
I think we're switching YouTube videos. We're getting out of this food K-hole and we're gonna do something else. I'll watch this.
What is art? Is probably the most cliche question to start off with, but I want you to really think about it. Despite it being birthed some 30,000 years ago, the concept of art and its definition has probably never been as muddled, with millenniums worth of artists and philosophers dictating contradictory objections on what classifies as art and what classifies as good art. Even today, we can't even decide what constitutes as art.
Okay.
In the early 20th century, many artists became exposed to the new age of travel and the dehumanizing efficiency of industrialization and war, leading them to create artwork about the flow of time, fragmentation, chaos, and pluralism that reflected the world around them. Take Giorgio de Chirico's paintings, which often use distorted perspectives and strange settings to create a sense of hyperreality, incorporate symbols of time, and often center around the same setting across multiple different perspectives, inspired by the growing global view of the world. As the century rolled on into the late 60s and early 70s, industrialization and travel continued to expand. The working world became ever more sporadic as companies began to think on a global scale. Production became a joint effort among several countries. Information was easily tradable across the world, and travel and importing became commonplace. Individual freedom has combined with increased geographical mobility and better communication to create a world in which consumers select elements of culture from a global cafeteria. This accelerating and frenetic world shifted art from the modern to the postmodern. Postmodern art questions the dogmas, rules, and techniques of previous artworks that were considered as standard truth. It often rejects the notion that art has to be visually appealing or be displaying of artistic ability, and rather emphasizes the importance of context and meaning. Artworks such as Fountain or In Advance of a Broken Arm are not intended to be visually appealing. They are intended to have the audience question their significance, and in turn, their understanding of what art even is. They use the context of their setting, creation, and presentation to convey messages of taste, subjectivity, and reality. Postmodern art is commonly characterized by its use of fragmented stories, maximalism, irony, metafiction, pastiche, and intertextuality to disregard standard storytelling procedures and to acknowledge their own existence and how no art is wholly original. Artworks also began to pick and choose styles and elements from cultures around the world. The style of art also led to conceptual art. Conceptual art devalues technical skill, often being easily reproducible and simple enough that anyone can make it. It is about presenting these ideas in an art context and how people perceive it. Conceptual artist Douglas Hubler once stated, "The world is full of objects, more or less interesting. I prefer, simply, to state the existence of things in terms of time and/or place." Author Morse Peckham once stated, "Art is not a category of perceptual fields, but of role-playing." This is why I was so interested with Y2K, a postmodern role-playing game. And it's also why I was so thoroughly let down.
Okay.
Also, some of the footage I recorded has my mouse cursor in it by mistake. That's totally my fault. I'm a complete lobotomite. I'm sorry.
Get out of the shot, man.
Joe.
Y2K follows the main character Alex, a recent liberal arts graduate returning home only to stumble upon the paranormal. He meets a young Asian woman named Sammy Pak in a rundown hotel, who is then shortly abducted by otherworldly beings.
Stop, don't come back.
The game then follows Alex and friends trying to uncover the mystery of Sammy's disappearance. The premise of the game's plot is already very contentious, due to its origin in real-world events. This was based off the death of Alyssa Lamb, a young Asian woman who too was last seen in a hotel elevator surrounding paranormal circumstances. This is even more disrespectful as one of the endings has you abandon your friends to be with Sammy forever, as she implies that she loves you. The game's creator stated, "I was someone who was very moved by the terrible case of Alyssa Lamb. I really feel for her tragic passing. Her suffering was influential in the development of the game. Her suffering was influential in the development in the game."
Hi. You're being sent this video because someone wants to know what the fuck you were thinking. What the fuck was going through your head? What did you think was gonna happen? Are you just a fucking idiot? Do you just not think?
On the way to Sammy, we are first introduced to the combat. Battles are very similar to most turn-based RPGs, with the twist that every attack involves you playing a unique minigame. This comes with its own set of strengths and weaknesses. This does allow for players' skill to impact how well you do in a fight, instead of the standard number crunching of other RPGs. It also means that you are always the one at fault if you fail, not the game. Minigames are also unique to each character, allowing for each of them to differentiate from how they play and act. When you gain enough experience to level up, you get to choose what stats Alex is upgraded with, meaning you have direct control over what playstyle you want. Unfortunately, the downsides of the combat quickly become apparent. Later in the game, Alex learns the skill LP Toss and basically becomes unstoppable. You can simply spam the fire button in the minigame to stun lock enemies until the time runs out. The move requires little to no MP to use, but can do up to 2,000 damage. And for reference, most bosses have less than 75 HP. Even without this move, the game is very easy, as you'll be doing the same moves over and over again, with very little variation on how you deal with enemies. Most of the difficulty is from how little damage you do, even when doing perfect in the minigames. Battles with basic overworld monsters can take upwards of 10 to even 20 minutes at a time. And the money you receive from these battles are so worthless that it makes Venezuela look like a thriving utopia. Despite one of the plot points being that Alex is low on money, by the end of the game, I had about $18,000, with most items costing less than $20, and the most expensive weapon being under $300. Not that you'll actually need any of them, as some of the best weapons are found in the overworld and dungeons. And healing items are barely used due to the non-existent difficulty and abundance of healing spots. The only time I needed to use any healing items was in a dungeon that forces you to walk across poisonous water that drains your health. Because gameplay. It just feels so unbalanced and poorly handled.
Is this
like everything
chilling in general chat?
The visual style
I'm showing while I put on my patches. What is this?
Very over-complex narrative, juxtaposed with overly simplified visuals and character designs. While many postmodern stories convey highbrow narratives alongside lowbrow mediums, it just comes off as sloppily done here. Take the animation, which is incredibly stiff and devoid of.
What do you mean putting patches on your jacket?
Oh, like I've got a bunch of like cool patches I bought from Hot Topic and various other places that I'm decorating my jacket with.
I don't know what patches.
Yeah, you mean like decorative pins and shit that you would put on your coats to make them look cool.
Okay.
If you tune in my stream, you could see them. I guess I could go live on Discord too, whatever. But
just hold them up to the screen.
This is the one I'm currently working on. I've got a bunch of others currently chilling on my jacket.
Oh my god, this delay is so bad.
No,
okay, I see now. Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So how have you been doing, Hit?
I've been playing like Apex for the last like 4 hours with like QD.
Hard on that Apex, huh?
Yeah, dude. Me, QD, and Leo, dude. Dude, slashing that shit up. It's great.
I could only imagine.
I mean, carrying QT is a pain in the ass, though, but, like...
Yeah, when Cutie, Trip, and I played, we didn't get a fucking single kill. It was hilarious.
Yikes. Dude, we won, like, 3 games in a row earlier. It's great. It's so fun. Yeah, we've got, like, a dream team now. So, I just spent, like, the last hour just photoshopping all of us into Apex characters. And then we all changed our profile pictures to them. That's why all our profile pictures have switched now.
I love that. That's fabulous.
Yeah, dude.
Which one did you get?
Octane.
Ah,
You know the dude that injects himself with drugs and just like sprints.
Yeah.
That like it reminds me of my youth. What?
Oh yeah, they joked like when Octane was released that he's like the in-universe version of this guy named Cash Mayo, who was the fastest player.
Yeah, the guy who did that Titanfall 2 speedrun with the nade. Yeah.
That's why he has fucking mechanical legs.
Yes, I thought that was super cool. I remember when that speedrun came out. It's so sick.
No, it was
that they
absolutely awesome. Especially that they like respected him so much that they put it in you know an entire video that they featured and then made a character of him and la da 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 da. They really value people.
That's pretty bogus. Too bad Octane's complete shite and he's useless.
Yeah.
Like he's the coolest character to me, and I am Octane, right? Like Octane was like me 2 years ago, so I can't not play Octane because he's just me. But like I'm sort of being forced to start playing Wraith and stuff to actually like get anywhere because Octane's so trash. He's such a bad character, dude.
Really? What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Are his powers just shit? It's
Well,
been a while
because
since I played Apex.
almost every character in the game has some sort of get out of jail free card. So if you run around a corner and suddenly you're face to face with an entire squad, almost every character has a way to get out of that. Like Wraith with her invis, Mirage with his invis cloak thing, Gibraltar with his shield, and like everyone has something. Yeah, Pathfinder's got his grapple. Octane stabs himself, cuts his health off, right?
Yeah.
And just runs kind of fast, right?
Yeah, that's not going to do a lot. For
Trash.
you in a situation
Complete
like
trash. Exactly. The only way that I die is through like bullshit where I turn a corner face to face with a squad and there's nothing I can do. So I'm being forced to sort of wean off of them and go to like Wraith and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It sucks. If
Characters that
it
you
didn't.
have less fun with, but you know,
Yeah.
you get more wins with.
Dude, Octane's so fun, but yeah, he's just not. His abilities aren't useful, like his jump pad. Like that's cool and stuff, but it's not really useful to anyone. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like a cool character. It just doesn't seem super effective versus shit like literally any other character, like anybody who causes damage or anybody who has higher mobility.
yeah, man, yeah, it's too bad because he could be really cool.
I mean,
I
that's
think.
always been an issue with that company is that they have great ideas, but sometimes they're very difficult to balance. Like back in Titanfall 2, the Cold War was such a cool weapon that nobody used because...
I love Titanfall 2. I just never got into it.
I fucking adore
Man.
Titanfall 2. I have,
Yeah.
I think, 700 hours clocked.
Oh, dude, I wish I'd played more. Like, I got it on release,
Yeah.
and I played the fuck out of it for like a week, and then I
You're
just
lucky you got
like,
it on release.
yeah, like
like a year
life's, I don't know, like life stuff like came up, and I just didn't have time to like play it. And then before I knew it, like the game had been out for 2 years, and then suddenly it was like
just dead,
pretty,
yeah.
yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? I never got to play the
What
game.
happened?
Like,
What happened, guys?
Yeah.
The party's over.
yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
I mean,
Too bad because they improved everything. Titanfall 1 was amazing, and then they made it like 5 times better in Titanfall 2. Like they completely nailed it.
I
It
never
was so
played
cool.
Titanfall 1. I always heard from, you know, like the old guard that Titanfall 1 was a really good game.
Yeah, dude. It was on made on Source Engine as well. It was
Really?
sick.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was a really nice feeling game. Like it felt like you know how like all Source games feel. They feel like a Source game, right?
Yeah.
It's like
like
that
the
sort
old
of fun, yeah, like arcadey Source game feel, but like in a AAA setting. But it still has like that arcadey, like just hop in TF2, sort of have fun and shoot shit. And the smart pistol, dude, amazing. That fucking
the old smart pistol.
yeah.
People
I
used
know
to
in
bitch so hard in Titanfall 2 about the smart
like
pistol.
I thought it was like trash, and it was trash in Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I mean it's only a boost.
Do they still bitch about it though? Like it being OP?
Yeah. I mean everyone bitches
Dude,
about it because
they should have
they're
played
like,
Titanfall
it's
1.
cheating. I'm like, bro, it's not even like a weapon like it was in Titanfall 1. Like
In Titanfall 1, it was insane. It was insane, and they never nerfed it. It was amazing. It's like they never ever nerfed it. They just let it be, and it was great. You could just run around and shred people with it,
honestly,
and you could also
what
add a
killed the
booster card
Titanfall
to
2
it.
competitive community was the argument about controller versus keyboard. because it's the same issue you can do with like Apex and Fortnite nowadays, where you can plug in a controller and use controller aim assist, but you can also emulate that on your keyboard and still use a keyboard while getting controller aim assist. And so some people are just fucking laser accurate. They're basically just cheating, you know. But
it's the same shit in Apex.
yeah, if the game allows you to play that way, then people are gonna fucking play that way, you know. It's not gonna.
Yeah, I'm seeing more and more pros. Like if you watch Twitch, like I'll think, oh, they're playing on console, but then I realize, oh no, dude, they have a keyboard there as well.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, because it allows auto aim. It's insane. It's so stupid.
No, it's dumb, and I don't know why anybody respects those people, because you're just pussing out. You're basically not even trying.
Like whenever I tune into like a pro stream to try and learn shit, if I see them on console or on PC using a controller, I can instantly go, okay, this doesn't help at all. This is just trash. It's a completely different playstyle. It's a completely different like universe because you all have auto aim and this like laser beam trash.
Yeah, the entire meta is different. No one's going to use certain weapons because like you have fucking laser beam ability. Might as well fuck them up with a scout or whatever.
I hate the scout. But I played because I have a PS4 and a big game that like Star Wars Battlefront, those games.
Yeah.
That had like on PC you could like there was some sweaty people on Star Wars Battlefront, especially Star Wars Battlefront 2. And it was free on PS4, so I was like, I put hundreds of hours into it on PC because it's as much as EA kind of fucked it over, it was still a fun game.
Completely
right?
fucked the dog on that one.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, Battlefront 2 is completely amazing now. Like they completely fixed everything. No microtransactions don't even exist. It's super easy to unlock everything. It's amazing. Battlefront 2 is a gem, and no one seems to care.
The original Battlefront games on like the PS2 were my favorite. I absolutely adored those.
Dude, if you like those, if you like the original Battlefront 2, get the new Battlefront 2. It's amazing. It's so good. You got General Grievous and shit now. It's oh my god. He can do that spinny thing that he does in Return of the Sith, where he like starts like rotor blading them.
That's great.
Oh my
I
god.
love that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But I tried it out on PS4 after like grinding hundreds of hours on PC, and dude, like there was this guy that I watched on YouTube for ages who was like a pro, but he played on console, and I would like try and watch his videos for like help. As soon as I tried it on console, I realized, oh dude, everyone on console is complete and utter trash at this game. Like it attracted the audience of one, it was free on PSN, so there was a bunch of noobs like
you got noobs and kids.
Yeah, and two, like there's so many fucking kids. They're all kids. Everyone is kids on a Star Wars game that's on console. All kids, and I'm just dunking on all of them. I've recorded like an hour's worth of content of me just shredding everyone. Yeah, and I was like, dude, I'll fucking upload this. This is brilliant. I look like a pro, dude. It's weird. Same with Call of Duty on console. It's a little different because you do get some sweaty people on there, but the majority of it,
old sweaters, the guys who NW4 and shit.
Yeah, COD. There's a dude. It's such a different community on console with everything. With any game.
Honestly, no matter what, the console community is always different than PC. PC is always so fraught with like elitism and bullshit, but console is like just throwing yourself to the mosh,
Yeah, it's just people jumping on and fucking around.
Well, yeah,
But,
I mean, I found that the issue back when I used to play console was that people are on there for like a variety of different reasons. Like you've got a couple of bros at a party slamming back some beers, and then you've got some kid who's going to scream that he, fucked your mom. You're just trying there, get, some kills, get better at the game. Everyone's there for a different reason. Especially because kids are on console because their parents are just like, oh, let's just buy little Timmy an Xbox so he'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's sort of the whole community. I only play I bought a PS4 for like the exclusives and stuff.
Well, yeah,
totally worth it. Like, oh my
god. Honestly, it's just a better decision. Like,
dude, oh my god, Spider-Man and God of War and Uncharted, the best games I've ever played, dude, ever. They're so good. It's all so good. It's insane. Yeah, like I don't know what Microsoft are gonna do with the Xbox. Like, I don't.
I think Microsoft has to walk out, like just leave gaming at this point. Like their console is shit. And
dude, it's insane though that they still have such a huge audience. It's insane how many people still own an Xbox. I think it's because it was like the meta. It was the meta for so long to own an Xbox.
Well,
the Xbox
360 was great. It was revolutionary.
Yeah, dude.
It lasted for 12 fucking years.
Yeah, I still have one. I don't know. It won't turn on anymore though. I tried it recently. Like it was in the basement for ages. I tried it recently. It just didn't work.
Yeah,
It's like okay.
It's crazy.
The Kinect was a disaster though.
Oh,
Fucking
the
hell, man.
Kinect was the fucking worst. I remember I actually had one when it first came out.
Yeah, same.
Huh.
It sucked. It fucking sucked. Yeah, man. I didn't like it at all. I mean, it did. In fairness, it did kind of work. It just was like, no.
Like the Wii exercise mat, it was honestly a periphery that only had 2 use cases. You know.
Yeah.
Beyond that, there's just really nothing for it. You know, dance games and a couple of cool experiences with like that weird Nintendogs Xbox thing that they try to run. That was really about it.
I remember the raft one where you're in that raft.
The raft one was pretty cool.
Yeah,
my favorite was actually the Gunstringer. If you ever played that.
I think I vaguely remember it, but I think I was too young then, and my parents wouldn't let me get it.
Yeah.
That triggered me so much. I was like, "This is the most cartoony shit I've ever seen, and I'm not allowed to buy it."
Gunstringer is so fucking cartoony. It's silly.
I think I was like 8, maybe. I don't know.
Wow, that's a crazy thing to think about. Just like so long ago in the Kinect era.
Yeah, man. It is weird.
Gaming was so different back then. You know, we didn't have people like Ninja running around making the community so strange.
Yeah, dude. Oh, also, I got another email from Steam, and they followed up with a different message. So they asked me to send them like my details and my address and stuff, and I sent that, and they responded with, "We're now processing your replacement request." Is that what you also got?
Yeah, I'm currently waiting on processing. I've been that way for about 2 weeks now.
Fuck. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I've seen that they're shipping out new sets, but I think they're gonna ship out new sets before they ship out new cables.
Well, so I was talking to QD about it, and he said it could be totally down to like the whole coronavirus shit, because like most of China's under quarantine. I'm really hoping that, considering it, like if say like 2 weeks ago when you had that processing request, like I would assume that they already have a new shipment of like cables and shit or whatever on its way. Like I wouldn't think they'd wait this late to then get in a new batch. Like they probably had a new batch on its way, like, you know, back in December or something. I don't know.
I could only
So,
hope.
yeah, I'm really hoping that just soon, because if they're shipping out new sets, then they're gonna totally be shipping out new cables as well. Like,
If they don't,
yeah,
I
man.
lose my shit. Like,
Yeah, dude. I won't get fucking paid for shit either, dude. Like, this is, you know, what I make money off of.
Yeah, that's how much money do you usually pull in like a month off of Twitch?
I mean, I can get by because I'm in college and shit, and like most of my stuff's paid for by my parents. I don't have to worry about food or apartment
I
or
know
whatever.
how it is. That's how it
Yeah.
used to be for me.
So like at the moment, like it's just sort of like extra money, yay.
No, it's
But
still
it
the
used,
spin and scratch, you know.
yeah, it used to be like 500 a month,
That's
and
pretty
now,
solid.
yeah, and that was back when I was at like 200, 300 followers, and it got really good recently. Again, it started getting more around there. Again, because it dipped, like when VR dipped on Twitch completely, and like QD said that he was struggling to pay for shit, and I just I couldn't even hit like the monthly goal to like get paid out by Twitch and shit. It was a mess. Like, dude, November, like September, October area, and like maybe even April is gross, dude. It was awful. It sucked. Yeah, that whole area, and it got way better in January, and it's pretty good this month so far as well. But then my cable started acting up. I had like a ton of good streams. I'm like 20 viewers average, right? Like I'm getting consistent donations and subs and follows, and it's really steady and it's going really good. Yeah, dude, it's going really good. I was like, finally, big break. And then I just put my headset on, like, you know, again for a new stream, and like I'm getting these white sparkles across my screen. I'm like, oh, if that's not good.
Dude, I've been getting rainbow sparkles, and my
Oh, it's gone way worse, dude.
staticky.
Yeah, it's going full rainbow sparkle, and now I'm getting like this like pop noise in my right headphone here and there. So fucking annoying.
God, it's
yeah.
so fucking obnoxious. It makes me feel
Yeah.
like I'm losing my hearing.
Yeah, dude. The only way to fix it, like temporarily, because I was talking to Leo or whatever about this.
Lay.
Fucking cable. Is that plugged in still? You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was talking to Leo because he runs a VR arcade and stuff, and he has to
He's at the
replace
VR
cables.
Hangout, right?
Yeah, he's got to constantly replace cables all the time. So I was like, okay, I needed to make sure like it wasn't a problem with the headset or my graphics card or whatever. And I was sure it wasn't my graphics card. My overclock is super stable. He was like, basically what's happening is because I've stomped on it so many times, it's compressed like the copper inside the cable, and the copper's spaced apart just enough inside the cable that they won't come in contact with each other and heat each other up and overheat. And what's happened is because I've stomped on it or I've tripped on it or I've whatever done to the cable, now the copper, the copper is now like touching each other and it's overheating itself. They're like interfering with each other. So a way to fix that is because the reason I asked him was because I unplugged my headset for a little while and then replugged it, and then suddenly my issues were almost completely gone. I was getting very faint white sparkles. It was nowhere near as bad as it was. It went from cutting out and static headphones and fucking rainbow sparkles to just a very faint little like fairy dust. That's so difficult to notice. And he was like, that's likely because when I unplugged it, obviously no charge is going through it, and it allowed whatever part is making contact, whatever copper is making contact with each other, it allows it to cool down. And then as I played more, as I continued my stream, it got progressively worse as that copper like heated each other up and started interfering with each other. So I suggest if you're not using your headset, just leave it unplugged. So then just leave it unplugged, and then you know, when you got to stream and make a video, whatever, plug it back in, and then you'll have like, you know, a little bit of time before it gets
a little bit extra
worse.
time before it shits out.
Yeah, basically. I'm gonna unplug this now, actually. Yeah, it's super
I
annoying.
haven't even used my set in a couple of days. Yeah, I've just been hanging out with my new girlfriend. So,
Yeah, fucking index, man. I mean, I can't blame it on the index. That's just how the cables are with
honestly,
VR.
like I always say with everybody, they're like, "What kind of VR headset should I buy?" I'm like, "You should buy the Quest." And they're like, "What about the Index? You have it, right?" I'm like, "The Index is the Ferrari of VR. It's nice as fuck, sexy as hell. People are jealous of it. However, you will spend all of your time fixing it forever."
I guess that's true. Thing is, with the cable though, like whatever VR headset you get that's tethered, like I was talking to QD about it. Like he's replaced his Oculus cable like at least 4 times, his HTC cable like 5 times. You know, like people replace the VR. I thought at first, oh, fucking Index again, dude, right? And then I spoke to a few people, and no matter what VR headset you have that has a cable, you'll eventually
I have never
replace
had to replace my cables before, but
yeah, I did once back on Oculus. Like it got very twisted, and I was like, okay, this cable's like fucked beyond repair. Like I wasn't getting issues, but I knew that probably soon it would start fucking up on me. So while I was in warranty, I just replaced it and got a new one and made sure not to fuck up the cable. Yeah, dude, I never actually paid for. I had a Oculus for like, I don't know, 7 months and never paid for it because I got the first one, and then the first one was I fucked up the cable on it, so I returned that. And also they'd secretly like sold me a refurbished version or a returned version, even though it was like meant to be brand new. So they accepted it back, and then I bought another one because I got a refund on the other one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I think it was like a demo floor version that they had, and it was the last one they had in stock because they discontinued the CD1 and shit.
Yeah.
So they're just like, well, I guess we can sell this as new, sort of thing.
Just sell this little piece of shit, whatever.
Yeah, I was wondering why it smelled like fucking sweat, but like, yeah, returned that one, got my money back on it, and then got an actual new one that was properly sealed and like, you know, it was like, yeah, this is legit.
Vacuumed up, good shit.
Yeah, and I used that one for like, I don't know, 6 months,
So you
5
were
or 6
originally an
months.
Oculus user, not a Vive user, huh?
Yeah, I used the CV1 for like 5 or 6 months, and then I started. I mean, I thought I was getting like headphone issues, but they just weren't attached properly, and I fixed it. But by then, I'd already started like the return process and shit, and I was like, well, I want an Index anyway. I'm like, I'll just return this and then use the money I've made from using this Oculus to then buy an Index.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it worked pretty well. It was, you know, it just sort of transferred over, and I'm so happy I'm off of Oculus because, dude, I got about a 50% boost in performance as soon as I was on Index.
Just left Oculus, yeah.
Because you don't have to constantly run the Oculus service bullshit in the background. It's insane how much CPU and GPU usage that uses all the time. I can't believe it. But yeah, the Index, because I actually upgraded my GPU in preparation of getting the Index because I wanted to make sure I could run it.
What are you running right now?
2070 Super, overclocked to that.
Nice.
Maxed it, yeah. So I upgraded to that from a 970.
That's a hell of an upgrade.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, the 970 like held up really well. I never actually had an issue with the 970, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, as a worst case scenario, I guess I'll.
1080 Ti from the beginning.
Oh man, the 1080 Ti still holds up.
Yeah,
it's
dude,
still good shit.
You know, it's a good old workhorse fucking, graphics card. You can use it for anything, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I upgraded and I very quickly realized, oh shit, yeah, I didn't need to upgrade at all because like I don't have a run Oculus service and it gave me like a huge boost in performance just not running that. Because I tried my CV1 with the new graphics card for a little bit before like the Index arrived and shit. When I returned the Oculus, and yeah, dude, I got like a full-on 50% boost in performance just by not having Oculus service and shit. So I try and warn people of that before they get like a Oculus device for their PC. Yeah, because I see people who are like, oh, I would get an Index, but I'm worried my PC's not powerful enough, and I'm like, dude, I guarantee you have worse performance on Rift S. Yeah, dude, like. The Index will run better, I guarantee you. You don't. It's just Oculus service being dog shit.
That's crazy.
It's good. I think, dude, I don't get it. I mean, it's got to be the whole like Facebook diagnostic data crap that they constantly send, right? Like, yeah.
It's fucking crazy, honestly. I just don't know how to deal with Facebook and their market. You know.
Do you act? I mean, as long as you. Thing is. There are people who constantly freak out about their data being used and shit, and I'm like, well, as long as you're not doing anything fishy on like Facebook, why should you give a shit, sort of thing?
Ultimately, that's an interesting argument because it's always the whole like, well, if you weren't doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be worried. But ultimately, it's I might not be doing something wrong, but I might be doing something suspicious. There's a difference. Like I want
guess
people to know about like what I do in the bedroom, but technically that's not morally wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like
I think I wouldn't use like shit like Facebook for that. I'd probably
especially like people do dumb shit like they send their fucking nudes through Facebook Messenger. I'm like,
yeah, dude.
Bruh, Zuck's gonna see it, bruh.
Nah, man. Like the thing is, and did the whole I was going through high school when social media started getting really big and shit.
Yeah, dude, me too.
And yeah, so I've been through like this whole like new like
I guess you're
like
part of the Insta generation because
you're like the whole Snapchat bullshit.
The whole Snapchat Insta crap.
Yeah, dude.
You still actually here's really the age difference. Do you still keep streaks with your friends?
Oh, I never did that shit anyway. I thought it was dumb as fuck.
Okay, cool.
Dude, I was like I always constantly ripped apart people who did that shit. It was so sad. It was so sad, right? I couldn't believe it. Like, people did it for so long. There's people I know that still do it. It's like, what are you doing? Stop! Yeah, they're out of their mind, dude. It's just fucking zombies, man. But, like, I was going through high school while dealing with all that shit. And the thing is, I constantly get, like, this shit from my lecturers in college or whatever, or they act like, I haven't ever seen, like, a dial-up phone or, like, a fucking cassette player. Dude, I grew up, like... It was like I grew up in the 80s and 90s, right? Because I lived in a specific part of the UK, in the south of England, in a home that didn't have much modern technology and shit. Like, dude, where I entertained myself through, like, ages, like, I don't know, like, up to, like, at least 5 years old was just watching my parents' wedding tape on cassette over and over again. That's what, that's all we really had, like, and then we eventually got DVD player and shit, and it's like, whoa, this is crazy.
Wow, we can watch Isn't Her Parents' Wedding?
Yeah, and I didn't get a phone until I was, I think, 13, but it was like a very basic one just so I could call in case of emergency and shit like that. But now, like, dude, kids have phones are like 5 years old. It's like, what are you
I
doing?
mean, it blows my mind. These kids have phones and tablets and bullshit, and
Yeah, dude, it's because their parents can't do jack shit.
TikTok.
Yeah.
I see fucking 5-year-olds in Pavlov, like. bullshit.
TikTok makes me miserable, dude. TikTok is so miserable.
TikTok is a miserable hellhole.
But going through high school, Snapchat, specifically Snapchat, fucking sucks, man. It's awful, man. Also,
Snapchat started becoming popular my freshman year of high school over here.
Yeah, I needed, like, obviously to have Snapchat to message people because that's how people just texted and people didn't
honestly,
really.
that's just how you. To be frank, that's how you buy drugs and get pussy.
Nah, but like, texting though. Thing is, like, texting became like, oh, you text people if it's something serious, and you phone them if it's like a fucking life-threatening emergency. Like, texting and calling someone became like this big thing. Snapchatting someone is how, like, you just chat to someone, right, or send whatever. So, like, going through high school, that shit sucked because it enabled, like, because you know how, like, almost all girls in high school are just complete whores, dude, for the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
it's horrendous.
High school's rough, dude.
Yeah,
I remember my
dude.
time in high school.
It was like it was even worse because these girls would be talking to like 50 different guys on Snapchat.
I mean, that's
and then,
how it is now. It's the
yeah, but also the guys that like send nudes. The people that like there are a few girls that win like our friend group, and they just show us like their phone and like, oh, look what this guy sent me. I'm like, yo, that's that guy from down the fucking hall. He just sent you this like during class. What the fuck is this? And it's just them. It's just dicks. It's insane.
25-8.
Yeah, it's insane. Like all the time. Like literally, they're getting it during class and shit. I'm like, what is this? This is nuts. I had no idea people did this shit. I never did this
It's one of those
shit.
things
Like,
that really blows my mind because, like, you know, you end up talking to some girl and you know she seems normal, and then you realize like you receiving pictures of cock like 25-8 from all these random dudes. Like you're lucky that you got the time of day from this girl because honestly, she could be fucking like half your state.
yeah,
You know?
dude.
Like, it's one of those things. Like the market is like I don't understand that what happened in the modern day so that like women have so much sexual market value versus men, because like fuck, I'm sexy, I don't give a shit, like it doesn't bother me, but like like I know dudes who I'd say are attractive as some of the women I know who get absolutely no pussy, while those women have like 6 boyfriends that they regularly go out with who are all like reasonably rich and good looking.
It's so scuffed. It's all scuffed, dude.
It's scuffed. I love how the VR community took scuffed as like one of the primary verbs for just random bullshit.
I just wish some of these girls would just chill out, dude, a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
I feel you.
Man,
it's a rough life out there, man.
I know, like, I constantly get caught up in that shit all the time, and then you start talking to this guy, and then you realize, oh fuck, I've just walked into like this, like, I don't know, like cheating fucking pyramid scheme, right? Like,
yeah, right? You're
what
just
the
solely in
fuck
the
have I
middle of a
walked
bunch of
into,
fucking
dude?
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's scary, man. I don't know. I hated that whole.
I got
high
myself
school,
in a weird situation directly after high school. As I immediately walked into a long-term relationship, and then just didn't fuck with anything else. So I feel like I'm pretty lucky that I escaped some of that, but I ended up dealing with my own set of bullshit.
Yeah, fucking Snapchat and social media sucks.
I mean,
I don't know.
honestly, it's mostly, you know, this just expendable person era. Like, people don't care about people or their friends. They'll just go find more people and more friends.
Yeah, there's a lack of community now.
And a lack of community. That's really what it is.
Because like back in the 80s, you wouldn't know who the fuck is like, you know, in the next town or like wherever.
Yeah.
Like you know
like,
your
some
friends.
like
If something
influencers and
happens,
Instagram models and bullshit like that, like they wouldn't matter because you would have never heard of them.
yeah, dude.
Like,
It's you know, it's all scuffed. It's all scuffed. I don't know. Thing is, like, I dig a lot of social media, right? Like Twitter. I mean, it's always the apps aren't the problem. It's always the communities and what comes out of them, right? Like Twitter, dude. Twitter's fucking sick, right? And I'm following the people that I like to follow. I learn interesting stuff, and it's cool to see what people are doing and whatever. It's great. But the communities on Twitter, especially Twitter, is horrendous, man.
Well, I mean, especially when you start dropping into like the weird fucking furry communities and shit like that.
Yeah, dude, it's
Fucking-
terrifying.
Dude, it was nuts. I was just like on. That's what actually gets me about Neos. Like I try to deal with the Neos kids all the time because I really like that fucking program. I think it has a lot of progress.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And then like you start talking to users and then you start looking at their Twitter and you're just like, can you stop
They're
being
just out
horny
of
for
their
like
mind.
5 fucking seconds?
Yeah, they're just all out of their mind. You've no
Like-
idea. You think someone's normal, and then you fucking find their like whatever page, and it's like, Jesus, dude. What
It's
the
just
fuck is the
alarming.
world coming to? Yeah,
Especially because
I
people just don't have any fucking shame anymore, apparently.
Well, I hate this whole thing where like this like global push for acceptance thing.
Yeah,
it's
not
because
everyone deserves to be
yeah,
accepted. Some people need to get bullied so that they stop acting like fucking weirdos. I'm not
like yeah. And also stop forcing me to accept shit, alright? I can find some stuff weird that maybe you don't. Let me find it weird. I shouldn't be hunted down and witch hunted, right, on Twitter and have my fucking people track down my job and my social security number. Like, I should be allowed to find certain shit weird, right, that you maybe dig, right? That's how the world works, right?
Yeah,
there's
you
foods
almost
you
get
like, there's
cancelled?
foods you don't like. If I don't like lettuce, are you gonna, like, hunt me down for not liking lettuce? Like,
yeah, right.
let me not like lettuce, right? It's like everyone needs to just chill out with this. It's scary, man. I don't
it's
like
what,
it.
It's what really bothers me is like especially when it's been coming to American politics recently. I'm particularly far left, but then I keep on getting people who are also on the left trying to indoctrinate me with all this silly bullshit.
Dude,
"Bruh,
like
I'm
you
already on
can't
your
even.
side, just shut up.
Yeah, dude,
Like-
it's yeah, dude. Like it's insane, like how extreme everything's gotten, right? Like, fucking, like a lot of the far left have become like what was once like more fucking what's the word? What's the name for the Republicans, right? Like so they've adopted a lot of Republican-based
conservative
views.
stances, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant, conservative, right?
Yeah, 'cause
like
that's the opposite of liberal.
It's all flipped, and people are out of their minds, dude. Like we had this dude called Boris Johnson get elected
I'm aware
in
of
the
Boris
UK,
Johnson, yes.
dude. And people like were so in their own bubbles, right? I clearly saw this dude getting elected, right?
Yeah.
If you actually like know who this guy is and you actually like do any sort of research on him, he's actually an alright dude. He's perfectly fine. Yeah, he looks like Trump. Who gives a fuck, dude? He's a chill dude, right? He's been the mayor of London before. No one had an issue with him when he was the mayor of London, right?
Yeah.
But then as soon as he starts running for this, people are instantly mocking him, and then because he met up with Trump, people even mocked him even more.
Yeah,
and then
people have been mocking him in the States.
yeah, dude. People
fucking,
like
like-
I went into college the next day. So I went in college the day before he got like elected, and people were like going, "Who do you vote for?" I vote Labour. Yeah, good for vote for Labour. I'm like, hold on, dude. It doesn't matter what side it is. Do your views align with this person or not? Don't just start cheering because someone voted for Labour. Like you could have some psychopath in Labour, but he's in Labour. Fucking well, yeah, brilliant, right? So these people were just like sucking each other off in their little labor groups the day before, and I'm like, I don't know how these guys don't see this dude's gonna come in clutch. It's for reasons like this. They don't know who they're voting for or why, but the people who actually know what's going on are voting for him. And then the next
That's
day,
the
like
issue
I go
is
in,
that the right has a goal. The right knows what they're doing. They have a set of goals, and they all have the same goals. The left, on the other hand, is so disunified that it is impossible for any group of leftists to all agree on like what they need to do.
yeah, I mean that's pretty true. The thing is, if you ask them any basic question, they usually. So, for example, the whole Trump thing, right? Yeah. A lot now. There's plenty of reasons you can not like Trump, dude. There's plenty of reasons, but problem is you ask so many people who outrightly hate him and I freak out on Twitter about him. You ask him any slight basic question about, hey, why don't you like him? There, he's racist. Why is he racist? Because he hates Mexicans. Why does he hate Mexicans? Because he wants to build a wall. Why does he want to build a wall? I don't know. Because he's racist. But they have no grounds. Yeah, and it's just like, okay, dude. What do you really think someone could get away with building a 90-mile wall just because they don't like a race of people? Yeah, I'm like, think about it, guys. And also, they're like, well, there's never been a wall there before. I'm like, dude, there's been one there for fucking 50 years, man.
Bruh,
Like,
yeah,
there's
dude,
been
the
a
border's
huge
just
fucking
been
for
well
50
defended
years.
for a hot second. Like,
Yeah, dude. I know, but it's like no one seems to realize what they're freaking out about.
no.
So
Well, I mean, it's mostly just because the media throws shit in their face like a bunch of fucking cattle, and they're willing to accept whatever gets thrown in their face.
yeah, man. Oh, dude, I can't believe people who still just trust one source though. Like I have, my mom, dude, constantly just all her information comes from the BBC, right? And the BBC has become more and more progressive left wing, and started really like they got tripped up recently because they did a whole piece on if you use like black or colored emojis. I don't know what the
intellectual
yeah.
blackface.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
she gets all her information from BBC all the time, and it's like that's like a one outlet, and it's like, okay, dude, maybe branch out a little.
Yeah, maybe get a little bit of fresh thought going on, you know?
Yeah, dude. Fucking hell, man. It's dude, just watch some Joe Rogan, dude. He covers all the bases, right? And he has, you know.
Like, my little brother and I watch Joe pretty often.
Yeah,
It's
he's
funny
got like
because,
very
you know,
good neutral
a
views.
lot of people give shit to Joe Rogan because they say that he's alt-right because he gives platform to people who are considered alt-right, like
Oh yeah, that shit's so dumb. You're
like
giving
Alex
platforms.
Jones. Like, but
Y-
you know,
yeah,
I
dude.
personally, this is a very controversial opinion. I think Alex Jones is a comedian. I think he's fucking hilarious.
Well, if you've
Like-
actually ever watched any Alex Jones, you
Yeah.
know the dude's just fucking eccentric, dude. He's
Just a weird
dude.
guy.
I don't have any. I watched him like fucking ages ago, like when the whole Sandy Hook shit happened.
Oh god, yeah.
I remember, dude. There's people who I know now, right? Like in my college, that will make fun of him and go, "Oh, he's the guy that doesn't believe in Sandy Hook." I'm like, actually, he didn't ever say that, and it's insane how that got blown out of proportion. Like what he said was, so there's a few news sources that had footage that either was faked or looked very faked in order to get like a scoop on like they just filmed it from the green screen. So he did a video going, this looks kind of scuffed, did this actually happen? And then someone asked him, do you think it happened? And he went, I don't think so, right? And then when the actual proof came out, he went, okay, I take that back. But then it got fucking swept up by the like, you know, media, and they're like, "Oh, dude, this guy doesn't."
Their shit on it, like.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, he didn't really say that, like, and I understand where he was coming from. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have fucking said that, but like, I see how you could put two and two together and go, okay, yeah, I see. And that's what he covered in like the Joe Rogan podcast and shit. But some of the thing is, it's scary how much stuff he ends up being right about. Do you see the Joe Rogan like There's a compilation where they edit together everything that he was right about. Like the shit where he's like, you know, the like animal hybrids with pigs and cows or whatever. That clip where he's talking about human and animal hybrids or whatever.
No.
And he sounds like he sounds like he's out of his mind. And then they edit in the evidence for it and how China has. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I could totally see how people think he's insane though. It's just because you know,
He's
he'll
just
just
an
say,
eccentric guy. He'll say whatever the fuck he
Yeah.
comes to mind. He's a fighter. He's not an intellectual or an academic or anything like that. He literally fights people for a living.
yeah, dude.
Like, it's not like he's going to have any sort of subtlety to a lot of the shit he says. He'll just say
Yeah,
it.
dude. Like the turning the freaking frogs gay. That one, right?
Yeah, no, my favorite one. They're putting chemicals in the water. Turn the fucking frogs gay.
Yeah, and the thing is, that actually happened, but you phrase it like that and you sound insane,
You start
right?
saying things like that, you're like, maybe that sounds a little funny.
Yeah, I constantly hear people quoting that all the time, dude. It's like, why did he have to say it like that? Like,
Well, I mean, it's the whole issue of like, I'm on your side, but please shut up. Like,
yeah, just take it down a notch, buddy, because you're making us all look like idiots here, dude. Like,
that's what I hate. I hate that so much. It's happened at my fucking school just the other week. Is, you know, they were having a demonstration because there was some issue where a cop had broken up a lesbian couple because they were like kissing on campus, and the cop was just like, y'all are fucking on campus, and they're like, no. And so like, there was a big old thing, and so I was, talking with some people about it, and they're just like, yeah, people should be able to do whatever they want on campus. I'm like, yeah, if you want to make out with your significant other, I don't really give a shit, as long as you're not openly fucking, and they're just like, yeah, you should be able to, like, wear fursuits without the cops looking at you weird. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't go that far.
It's like, okay, you kind of hijacked.
I should be able to wear like low cut like titty shirts to class. No. I think you're mistaken. Like,
yeah. So let's just take this down a notch.
That's always the issue. Is like, I thought we were on the same side, but it turns out you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude.
So it's just one of the things. Well, it's been lovely talking, but I sadly have to start going to sleep because I've got school in the morning.
You what, like college school?
Yeah, I've got college school in the morning. It's my final semester. I'm about to graduate. The senior rise is hitting hard, dude. It's so bad.
You're doing the the thing you're posting about with the woman, what's her face that you like were salty with, and I don't know. Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
There's like a lecture that you didn't like or something. Yeah.
No, constantly dealing with that bullshit. My entire degree path is a joke. No.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh god, it's called ATech. It stands for Arts and Technology. It's just a liberal arts degree, unironically. But like the dean who took over the program in 2016 has completely run this bitch into the ground. It is just such a joke. Like all the good
job opportunities does that give
basically what I'm going for or was going for was mostly like video production opportunities, working in various advertising agencies, maybe pivot into games production was what I was going for. And
right.
So a lot of people go into like game design or animation or things after this, depending on what focus they went with.
Mm-hmm.
But all the
so it's like a media course.
Yeah, more or less. All the professors who actually had real life experience in our path, like any of the actual game designers or animators, they all either quit or got fired by the dean because they got tired of her bullshit. And so now all we have is a bunch of fucking academics who want to jerk each other off about whatever, and we don't learn anything. I just sit here and I get told that existing as a white man is racist and that I should be really sorry for being mean.
Yeah, same thing, dude. I'm doing a media course in college.
It fucking blows ass, dude.
Same shit.
Like
I haven't learned anything, dude. And the lecturers don't know what they're talking about.
They don't. They never will. They never do. It's all garbage. Unironically, it's all just trash. You just need to get your degree so you can say that you're a little worker drone so you can get paid more money.
That's essentially what I'm doing. Yep, it's yikes. But I mean, it sounds like we're doing pretty much the same course here, dude. Like, yeah.
More or less. I wish you the best of luck, though.
Yeah, dude. Same here.
Catch you on the flip side.
See you around, man.
Bye. I think that's gonna call it for the night. Bye. Gotta pull up that old Biersch. Get all this shit turned off.